This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee.
Oh my God.
And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton
Ladies and
McKee.
gentlemen, hold on to your wigs and keys. It's show 301. It's our 5th year anniversary, and we have all managed to make it. Not on time, but we're here.
Yes.
And you think after 5 years, I think that's commendable. I mean, you started late
I was
with
saying,
us.
in my defense, I'm only 2.5
Right,
years in.
I see. I get that. You're half our age.
Right.
In many aspects.
In many
Kat.
ways, in fact.
Yes.
Yeah, let's keep that math going. I like that math. Let's keep that math
Oh,
alive.
for those of you wondering, I'm going to send a shout out to Jenny. Jenny, thank you very much for our keep calm and happy birthday cunt
That's fantastic.
e-card we got today on the side. I thought that was particularly touching. There was that. Also, I want to let everybody know this show, our special show, we have a new sponsor, American Airlines. We might lose your bags, but we won't kick your ass. So
Yeah.
for our 500th or for our 5th year show, they wanted to sponsor and let everybody know that they're out there and they're an option.
Well, I'm late today because of my many interactions today with the good people of American Airlines.
Oh
my goodness.
Well, not late. It actually was neck and neck. She was in the driveway first, and then I pulled ahead, and then I was in the mud room first, and then she made it into here first. So, I mean, it was a photo finish.
Okay.
And Sinks Alive coming around the turn.
Yeah.
Now, hey, can I stop you for just a minute? I know you were in California for the weekend, right? I feel like you went to Louisiana at some point because earlier you used the word fixins, and now I have a mud room.
Isn't that what you call it?
I call it a shop.
Oh, all right.
A mud room to me is something you have in the Midwest or the South where you take off the muddy boots.
Did you
After
recently
working
watch
in
the
the
Divine
field.
Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood? Because that would get the same results. As
But
it
they
turns
call them
out.
mud rooms in Arizona.
I've heard that, but never associated out here. But
Yeah, looks just like that.
you do whatever. But it's the
where you
cleanest
take
fucking
off your
mud
muddy
room.
boots?
I vacuumed the mud room today.
Yeah, a lot of times people have like their washer dryer in their mud room.
I haven't.
I never heard of it until I moved to Arizona.
Oh, okay. I associate that with the Southern thing. For those of you in the chat room, hi, welcome. Joe D, Jenny, Aaron from LA, Jacob Triweiler. At some point, we have decided that you need to come join us because, first of all, Al doesn't think he's ever met you in person.
No, I have. We've just never.
Okay, there's that. The other one is
And I said they'd be
you
dangerous.
you'd probably be a good time in here, and there's plenty of room to park your Miata at my house. So you could
You could probably fit it in the mudroom.
Ooh, good point. Turn on its side. Actually, probably the only fucking car that can fit in my carport since it's too goddamn narrow for anything else other than a bike. But I also want to explain. Oh, hi, Mama. Mama Di is in there. Happy anniversary.
Hi.
Thank you, Mom.
Hello.
Can you believe it? 5 whole years that people are still listening to us, and we're here doing
Although,
this.
admittedly, not many of the same people. I feel like the cast of characters.
Some have changed, yeah. Like, what was the gentleman in
Tyler from Tennessee.
Tyler from Tennessee?
Long
We
gone.
haven't heard-
Tyler and Tomo.
Oh, Tomo. Yeah, he got bored. Well, I think he got
Yeah.
pissed when I couldn't send him the
Pop-Tarts.
the Pop-Tarts.
Oh,
yeah.
when the Pop-Tarts
Got
came
really-
back, that was a debacle.
Hey,
really
man.
bad. I wanted to explain though. They were asking.
Richard up in.
They were asking in the chat room, how is it that we have done a show a week for 5 years, and that's our show number is 301. Well, small story. We did not start at 0. We started at show number 63. 2 reasons. One, it made it appear as though we had done more shows than we had. So maybe people are like, hey, this is catching on. We should listen. Which I'm not. Maybe that worked. I don't know. The other one is I didn't want to start at 0, and 63 is the birth year of George Michael, and that's why I chose that. So we started at 63. We're now at 301. That makes 238. This is the 238th show that we have done. Holy crap!
I know.
Someday we're gonna get it
Goodness
right.
gracious.
Someday we'll get it right. We'll be good.
Oh, and we have to have Miata in the mudroom. We have to.
So, wow.
It would fit in there as a matter
Metaphor.
of fact.
Is that akin to parking your car in the garage?
Man,
Yeah.
park my Miata in your mudroom, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Should we
Wow.
tell them where poop comes from?
I think Jacob knows. Just a guess.
I'm letting this all go.
Oh, my heaven's sakes. Oh, Harrison, I thanked you in the chat room, but thank you again. I received a lovely bottle of Crown Royal from you by way of Al Perkins for, was it for vacuums or fans? Something I fixed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's just say for all of it.
All of that stuff.
I love it.
Yes. And
The
I'm
prompt settling of accounts.
Yes, it's quite a thing when you have to ship appliances across state lines to get them remedied.
Yeah.
But here they are. Thank you. You're welcome, and all that good. Hope your carpets are clean.
They were her whole place was clean. She was.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just let it.
Let that go.
Yep. I just kept looking.
You dirty, dirty bird.
Dirty whore. Stop it.
But she did do a thorough cleaning of the carpets before my arrival. It was
Before
a gentleman
visitors,
caller arrives.
right? Before people
yeah.
arrive, always
even
make
this
sure.
gentleman caller got a clean carpet. As a hello.
Hello, kitty.
Yeah. And we had to keep it a secret because I have had the plague. So, or it's not really the plague. I've just had allergies really bad and a cough that sounds like God is coming for me today.
Right.
So that's why I didn't call Aaron. Aaron was.
Well,
I
that's
think there was a question mark that I was
when
gonna
I
tell,
last saw you.
It sounds like the
was
plague.
when I
Yeah.
last saw you was that Monday. It was last
Yeah.
Monday when your sister cooked everything for everybody, and you were suffering through it pretty good right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my mom went through about. We ran a bunch of errands. She contends that she got sick because she's gotten accustomed to the retirement life and not having to go many places very often. And we went out twice last week to run errands and do stuff. And she says it's just too busy.
Well, allegedly
2 times out of the house in a week. That's a lot.
That's a
Clayton.
lot.
Could have been.
It is.
But I think,
Allegedly, allergies across the country, like from New York, they're talking about it on the talk shows, to out here, everybody at the hospital and the doctors are talking about it. Like, allergy season across the country is just
in full bloom.
in full bloom. They had a mild winter, so they're going through one thing.
Oh, that's
California's
true.
had a lot of rain, so they've got all kinds of shit blooming. I've got the Ebola tree in my backyard.
Does that come before or after the locust? I can't remember where that.
Wait a
falls
minute.
in
The
plagues.
Ebola. I thought the Ebola tree was gone. Like there's nothing in your backyard now.
No, not my. It's the neighbor's backyard.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's that yellow
Yeah.
fucking nightmare.
I understand.
So that's why the house is just on lockdown. Like
Sure.
there's
Nothing's
whatever-
getting in.
No,
Gotcha.
we're not testing it. So, but so I apologize. So I was in LA, but I reached out to no one because seriously, you did not want to be around me. It was just nose blowing and hacking myself up a lung.
Wow, that's an exciting story.
That sounds
Yeah.
lovely.
Mixed in with some
Can
good
you,
drugs, some
can you
okay
just
drugs.
face that way?
Yeah. Now
Please?
it has count like the recirc air button is always on in the car. There are no
Yeah.
doors or windows open in the house. And I did. We had lovely weather for like 10 days with my sister here, so we had the doors and windows open every minute, even though I knew like
I'm gonna pay for
this
this.
will lead to no good.
Right.
No good will
Death
come
is
of this
coming
fresh
for you.
air. Yeah. But
Well, I stay on a Walgreens brand anti-allergy thing all the time, and I have been fortunate as hell. Nothing has hit me.
when we get around to what I did, I'll tell you about my new drug of choice.
Oh my God, I'm excited to find out.
I know.
For you to have a new drug and it's not coffee. Holy
I don't want to
crap.
hijack someone else's segment so soon.
Well, we have been off a week, so I understand.
I know. I haven't hijacked anybody's
We're
segment in a while.
8 minutes in. You're good.
Clean
I feel
carpet
like
or
that's
no,
a
I stayed away
lie.
from their segment.
I feel like that's a lie.
Oh.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Lies.
Filled with innuendo.
Well, thank you all for we
or
took off.
horrendo. I'm not sure who's
We
endo
took
you're
off
in.
Somebody's in.
last week. We took off not only because of Al's indifference to pollen. We took off a week because it was our post Pride, and we were all kind of exhausted, and people had things to do. And coming from hither and yon, it was just nice to take a break.
And what a smart plan that turned out to
Oh,
be.
that
What a-
really
What a
did.
much needed day of respite
was.
that was.
It would not have been a cute show, I don't
No,
think.
no, it would
Oh
have.
no, I lackluster, probably.
Like
I know,
a
I was-
sleep study. Watch these 4 people put their heads down and
Similar
rest.
like the week before and the week before that. And the week before that.
Wow.
But it's not the
Wow.
listeners resting.
Oh,
it's
that's
us.
right. That's
Right.
right. My
Except for this time, it's my head on the dice.
bad. My bad.
I'm just going to play a little game of Heads Up 7.
The bell would just go. That's all you'd get. Just a dunk.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Oh, heaven's sakes alive. Well, I don't know what else we've got to catch up on, so we'll start with the round table of love and tenderness. Ladies and gentlemen, Kat Carlson, what have you been up to?
Oh my gosh. So Pride happened, and like
Boy,
Al
did
said,
it.
boy, did it.
It happened.
Were you proud?
I often. Yeah.
I love
I
that.
was proud.
I had to wash twice.
The Kat Carlson Memorial VIP Lounge. Let it go.
Total
Let it go.
success. That was a total success, that
was
lounge.
a total success, the Kat Carlson Memorial VIP Lounge. And the thing that I love about that,
The memorial is island.
Yeah,
Are there,
silent.
are there two
number
things?
one, there's 2 things that I love about that.
Make
Number
sure we
one,
get this in here. Yeah, there you go.
the memorial was silent.
Yeah.
Number 2, by Sunday night, they're just calling it the Cat Carlson Memorial VIP Lounge off the main stage.
I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Like
That's
find your
great.
lost pet or daughter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the,
Oh, that is
Barbara was up there.
success.
Barbara was up there, and I can't remember what she was talking
I love
about the VIP area, and she said something about over in the Cat Carlson Memorial
I
VIP
love it.
Lounge, and I.
Oh, that's it.
Oh yeah,
And you
yeah.
made it.
I hope the Ion AZ people heard that because they lost all credibility apparently.
I mean, well, I just kind of overshadowed them accidentally.
it's called promotion and how to do it wisely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It turns out I'm okay at promotion.
Yeah.
But no, it was really successful, and we my end of the deal had no problems, and that was lovely.
Yeah. Relatively smooth, I thought.
We had an exciting parade.
Wow.
did.
We had
Boy,
a
howdy.
parade. Well,
Had a lot of people that misunderstood a lot about
Well, there
that.
were
Yeah,
a
that's
couple,
a
there were a
true
couple
story.
things about the parade. One, the entire crew. I'm going to step on you.
Oh,
I feel like
please
Alfred
do.
is saying. I'm going to share.
Come on,
I'm
Alfie.
sharing the moment. I'm trying to
Yeah,
save us
no,
time.
we're
One of the things was prior to previous years, there was a different team in place that ran the parade. This is an all new team, and I don't know if there weren't notes left. Like Obama left for 45. Like, here's how to be a president.
Not that they'd be followed.
Right.
Those are missing.
I mean, apparently they can't find those. But
they're in a binder.
They're in the
somewhere.
Holocaust Center.
Sure, yes. So the parade was run a little bit oddly because things weren't stacked up right. Scripts did not match anybody or anything that was in the parade half of the time.
Well, and I think
But we did have more entries, I think by 10 or 12 than we've ever had in any parade in
more
30
entries
some
than
years.
ever, more
yeah.
attendance than ever,
Yeah.
more.
Oh, God, a longer parade. That's like
It
my
re-
worst nightmare.
Yeah, but it was wonderful. I mean, I
It
thought
actually,
in
it
that
actually
regard
went
it
really
was.
for as out of order as they were, because I
Yep.
think, and I haven't been to the rap meeting, but I think the most of their problem was that somebody forgot about counting, and forgot to put all of the entries in
Sequence.
the order of
Sure.
counting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it started off awfully early, out of sequence, and never,
Yeah, never
like we
recovered.
caught up for about 10 floats, and then nope, we're out again.
After a disruptive
Yeah.
shuffling of papers.
At one point, she got mad and literally threw the script book down
I
and walked
literally
away.
threw it down. I was like, "Fuck this!"
And I ran
We're gonna
back
wing
and
it.
got it and just happened to, my eye caught one word. Actually, it was Toyota. And I'm like, well, that's that's a car. These are car people. And I put it together and we kind of, again, started hunting and pecking for
Right.
it. It was a shit show.
Not okay.
But
was okay.
It was
we
not
got through
okay.
it. It's
But
been a
we
successful
did
year.
it. We did it wonderfully.
Yes.
I thought.
I thought so.
I thought we did it really well. All
That's
things
too
thought
much
you-
for yes.
I thought you guys were kind of horseshit.
All right.
No,
Well,
you
no.
were. You were wonderful.
That's fair.
I was
And I'm
kidding.
indifferent because
That's
I
fair.
wasn't there.
I spent
I'm just playing. I had to play.
I
devil's
spent
advocate.
half
Sharon
the
and
time.
the kids left halfway through, so it couldn't have been that great.
Well, and I spent
Yeah, but I think a lot of that had to do with the kind of the
Interruption?
downer. The
You think the protest
interruption.
was
I
why
really
they left?
do. I might be. I think it was a lot of different, the heat and the this and the this,
Maybe.
but I think that just kind of took the mood and went.
Hi, Bear.
Um,
Mr. Walker. is in
Hi,
the
Bear.
room.
So for
Yeah.
folks that maybe weren't here and haven't caught the coverage of that, our Pride Parade did experience a protest and a disruption. There was a group called Trans Queer Pueblo, right? TQP, I think so.
You
that
read their signs. I
Yeah.
didn't.
they
And I read up on all
yeah.
of it. So
they had it planned out in advance. And Pride kind of caught wind of it ahead of time and reached out to them and said, "Hey, how can we help you in this?
okay.
Like, how can we accommodate this? We believe in your right to protest and say what you got to say. Like, how do we help you?" And unfortunately, it was late in the game to really get all that arranged and get all that kind of ironed out. And so we showed up Sunday morning, and I looked across the street and I saw their T-shirts, and I said, "Oh, well, there's our protest people right there. This is happening," which I'm not surprised. You know, I would do it at the judge's main stage too.
Well, I found out part of the reason that they did it there is because they thought
They
the
thought Justin
president
Owen
of
would be
Pride
there.
was there,
Oh,
Right.
I see.
and he wasn't.
Yeah, they
was there?
They thought that Justin would be there.
The president of Pride,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they wanted to have like this.
Pride?
not a
No, he was there, but he wasn't at
the judge's stage
at
for the
the
parade.
stage for the parade.
He's got a billion other things to do. On
I don't think I've ever seen him there. I've seen him at the parade, up and down,
Right.
and other
He'll go
places, but
by,
I've
but-
never seen him just
No, not
sit
the-
at the
no.
stage there.
There's no need for him.
Yeah. Which is fine, but yeah, I think the protesters were kind of hoping for some sort of a confrontation and acknowledgement. But unfortunately, instead, they were greeted by jump to conclusion, angry spectators,
Okay.
and had to be kind of moved on faster than I think they had planned.
One of the things that I thought was odd about their protest, and maybe this is part of their their message. They were talking about what they believe, which I think is incorrect. They're talking about the lack of diversity within our pride, be it trans or minority or whatever you want to call it. But if they're talking about it's all too white, then why the hell are you standing there with a bullhorn yelling at me in Spanish?
But
because
that wasn't it.
if it's all white, then you should be telling us in English. Otherwise, we're not going to know what the fuck you're saying. That's part of what got lost on me because I'm like, I got no idea what you people are doing aside from disrupting it. And they were something against law enforcement because the Phoenix police had just passed and the new sheriff had just shown up, which I was thrilled to announce. Yeah. And then they disrupted all of that.
Right. And they took him away. And not everyone has like a mind for PR. Right. I feel like they were like well intentioned and, you know, I get where they're going with it, but I think they did a shitty job of putting their message across.
Right. They had apparently been trying those since February and not sticking up, just kind of the other side of they had been attempting and finally early February they were like, fuck it. Because nobody was listening, apparently. And
nobody
it was nobody Pride.
Okay.
Pride. And it was, apparently it was a lot to do with not necessarily white or lack of diversity as much as it was about safety.
Yeah,
and that pride wasn't, and that was really everything that I read, the big kind of deal. And I thought, oh, okay.
And my understanding is that then this is all from social media reading. Like I have
struggle for justice of migrant workers.
Right. Well, and I have I've had no contact with their organization. I don't have firsthand knowledge of their organization. I don't think I even know anybody in their organization, or if I do, I don't know it.
I went to their Facebook page and I looked to try to see is there anyone that I was familiar with. Same thing. I didn't see.
Yeah. So it's my understanding that their cry of "we're not safe" comes from the cooperative police presence that we have at Pride, which is kind of necessary when you're going to invite 30,000 people to the park for the day. You kind of need the cops around.
Yeah.
You know, especially
that's part of the price of holding the festival.
Part of the gig. But this group, Trans Queer Pueblo, does not feel that they are treated fairly and safely and equitably by the police departments. So they're one of their big demands is to kick the police out of Pride so that their group feels safe. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. It's a whole big thing. And again, messaging. People, if you're gonna have a gripe, if you're gonna have a protest, if you're gonna have, you know what I mean, if you're gonna make any kind of a demonstration, your message needs to be simple.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you are feeling targeted by the police, then that should be really apparent in your messaging in English and Spanish.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, no justice, no pride. What does that mean? Yeah. Do you need lawyers? Do you?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand.
For?
Right.
Yeah.
And seriously, I 100% agree with everyone's right to stage a protest like that. I 100% think that everyone has a right to be heard in a peaceful protesting. You know, it's the American way, right? I believe in everyone's purpose for that. But for God's sakes, people, get your messaging together.
Yeah.
Organize.
Because I want to be able to, as a spectator, I want to be able to walk away from that and say, oh, they don't like the police. I don't know what's going on with them, but they have a problem with the police. Right? Or I don't know what the problem with them, or they have a problem with white people, or whatever it is, whatever your issue is.
Right. And since the police has worked so well with the organizers and being part of the community and such a visible, positive presence there, it's hard for me to hear who's being left out of this, because every time I go to Pride, I'm like, well, every freaking type of person from A to Z is here being protected by the same people. So who's outside the barricade except for the protesters?
And I had forgotten about just prior, and maybe this adds to their fire. Just prior, when the Phoenix police constituency walked by, I saw Tom Van Dorn. I called out to Tom, and Tom ran over, who was walking arm in arm basically with the new chief of police. I forget her name.
I don't remember
Tall,
her name either.
Lovely gal. Anyway, walking with them, and I yelled, "Hey, Tom Van Dorn!" He came over, hugged me, and she walks up literally right behind me. He goes, "Well, don't I get a hug too?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I had just hugged the new chief of police as she's walking by. And again, maybe again but again, diversity. She's a lovely black woman. I'm a overweight middle-aged white guy. How do you not get a little more diverse than that? I mean,
Well, and I agree what Harrison is saying with I feel like I would want to shower for days after an encounter like that kind of toxic hate.
But I'm not sure if she's responding to a Nant.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure if she might be addressing that Bear Walker met
Got it, yep.
Fred Phelps.
That I couldn't.
They might be on their own conversation.
Also, Bear Walker, you should shower occasionally.
I would encourage
That's
at
a
least
good call.
weekly.
Yeah.
By the way, if I'm not mistaken, the Fred Phelps morons were here. They were really close to the entrance of the park.
Yep.
There were like just 4 or 5. A few signs, but they were really nothing in comparison. And every year they seem to diminish more and more and more, which I think is just the way that the world is going. Well, except for the
And again, that's the success of messaging, because we spend a lot of time in our own community encouraging people to just
ignore them, right?
Ignore, right? Because they're spoiling for a fight. When those people show up to your Pride to protest, they're spoiling for a fight. They want you to approach them, and they want you to antagonize them.
You're right.
And they are bored if we just go to the other side of the street and walk on by.
Yeah.
Right.
That takes all of the fuel out of their fire. So again, messaging.
But there was a second brouhaha at the parade, wasn't there?
Yep.
That
There were
Buddy,
2 of them.
Buddy brought up 2.
Yeah, there was. I
A
read that.
peaceful one.
I read that well, but
kind
it's-
of
it
earlier.
kinda
I thought this one
Well, there
was
was there was
peaceful,
one earlier that we didn't comment on because they weren't anywhere in the script, and there was
They just the ones who stepped in line, right? A group that's out of nowhere, like we ain't got nothing.
just out of nowhere. We were like, we don't know who you are. Have a great day, because I think they were just parade jumpers.
Well, and what I
but they were
was-
also anti-pride.
But they didn't.
remember.
But they didn't
That I
hold
don't
up
know.
anything. They just walked in the parade.
Well,
Yeah, and they
that-
had a banner, and that was it.
Aaron was one of them, and what the response that I believe I had from Sharon was similar. But Aaron took up, like, she was just in tears. Aaron doesn't handle any of that stuff, any kind of real hate interaction, kind of blah. And all of a sudden, you just saw everybody kind of right around there just change. It was
Because of 5 asshole white guys. Which
Very fair.
Yeah. It
Uh-huh.
was 5 guys, all of them just screaming their hearts out about. And tell me if this sounds inclusive, about go home. This is our pride. Get out of our parade.
Right.
To the police?
No, to the
to
protesters.
the protesters.
Yep.
To the people
Oh.
that are saying that, hey, pride's not inclusive enough. I got 5 white guys screaming at them to go the fuck home. Get out of our parade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
fair.
Like, I'm still all about the protesters' right to
Well,
be there.
and
I don't know that I
agree.
understand their message. I don't know
Ditto.
that I
And at
believe in
that-
their message.
At that time
exactly
that
it.
she witnessed that confrontation, when it happened, Kat and I literally sat down on the
Yes.
on the stage, shut the mics off, and just like let it do its thing. I didn't stand up at one point. She stood up and saw them, and then she started commenting on the mic, "Hey, let them say their piece, let them do their thing, and let's
Yep.
all just move on with this."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
because the
again-
crowd got really angry really quickly,
Yeah.
and I still
You
think
felt
that
it escalate.
Well, yeah, you could definitely
Well,
feel it
probably because
escalate.
of, like you were saying about mixed messaging. Like, are they?
Sure.
And especially if you can't hear, like, is this some kind of anti-gay
It wasn't
group?
anti-gay. You knew that,
right? You could definitely
And
see.
you weren't there, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that you knew that they were an LGBTQ RSTLM
Yeah.
group.
yeah.
That clearly the RSTLM has something.
At
right.
one point, I was
Absolutely.
confused. I thought maybe Matt could come out with a new color for spring that was horrible. I didn't know what had happened, but it was
There's a lot
it was
happening,
the
yeah.
first time I'd experienced it, and I don't do that well either. I'm not a
Yeah.
confrontational person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment, so I just we're done.
But you know, I really wish
thought you
that
guys
day.
handled that so well.
I really wish that day could have gone a little bit differently and had spectators just be a little bit more patient, because they were registered as a parade entry.
Right.
They were out of order, but they had paid $75 to be in the parade, so they had every right to be there, above and beyond.
Right.
Oh, well, there you go.
anybody
Yeah,
else.
they did.
Right. And I really just wish, instead of screaming at people who are different, that we could just shut the fuck up and listen to what they have to say a little bit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
So aside from
So that's
that,
my thing.
Mrs. Lincoln, how was the
How was the
play?
play?
That was the plate. I figured we'd get that off the plate off the
Yeah.
top.
I think it's good.
Um,
I think it's good.
How was my American cousin in parade
It
form?
was. I have to tell you, the morning of the parade when you showed up, and then your rainbow family of love
oh my
and tenderness.
God, the rainbow family.
She
And I
had-
never got a good picture.
And it was so cute. Her Sharon's brothers' children show up, and it's a rainbow of shirts. All the kids had different colored shirts on.
Cat Carlson Memorial VIP shirts.
Did Grandma have a shirt on?
Yeah.
Everybody had a shirt. It was so cute. It was so cute.
I saw one picture of that. That was very cute.
Yeah,
Very, very cute.
I never got a good picture of the whole rainbow, but I did. I went through the whole rainbow and I got them all shirts and assigned everybody a color.
That's
and
fantastic.
It was a very cute thing to
very
watch.
cute.
All these kids come in. It was just adorable to see. And I like I told you and Sharon, when I looked at her mother and her brother, if Stevie
they
Wonder
all
could
look
have
the
told
same.
that they
Oh,
were related.
really?
I mean, bam, bam, bam.
They all have big boobs.
No, well,
It's true.
but the mother, like facially, you can just definitely see that they are all related. And the she's a riot.
Bill.
She's
yeah.
she's a
She is
back
smart.
east Jersey girl. She
she's
was funny.
something.
Yeah, she's something. Heaven's sakes, Ms. Ryer.
Yeah.
Whatever have you been up to these past couple of days, couple
Oh,
weeks
Christ,
rather?
I can't remember after a week.
It's all right. Any new projects at the house?
Nope.
No?
How's mom?
No, she's doing better. Healing, every day. New melody.
So she's Katie June.
She's Katie June's mom.
Wow.
Yeah, she's KJ's mom. It's good.
Give her Katie's number. They
yeah.
should talk daily.
Can you
matter
imagine?
with
Yeah, what's the
Katie?
matter with Diane?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's actually not as much. I did go to prom.
Oh.
Did
I
you
was-
chaperone?
We did. I was
Oh, I
promposed.
forgot about that. Yes.
Yes, I was promposed.
Stupid word.
By
It was
Ernie or by some random
adorable.
person?
Yeah, just by Ernie.
Oh, cute.
Put a puzzle together and I had to put this thing together and ask if I would go to prom. It's very cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
It was real cute.
I mean, he's
And,
going to be
just
just
threw
I
up
know,
a
sickness
right?
bag, but I approve.
I just
I-
threw
The
up a little
bells
bit.
and innuendo ring from me.
I should prove.
Maybe I have been ill. If the correct response is vomit and I'm ringing bells like fucking Tinkerbell, maybe I've taken the wrong drug.
It's not
Yeah.
sponsored by
Bravo,
Disney. Calm
bravo.
down.
Thanks, Bear.
Maybe.
Al believes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fuck fairies.
it was very interesting. We had a bingo sheet
Did you get
that
pregnant? Did you have the baby?
some people may have though.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was part of it. Like we had as the chaperones.
And how old are these kids?
High school, 17, 18.
Oh.
They didn't leave enough room for the Holy Spirit between them.
One of them, I could swear to God, was Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. Not handsome Jared Leto. Suicide Squad Jared Leto.
Oh.
It was real interesting to watch some of these kids.
Real interesting.
But it was really sweet, like to kind of think back. Very fun. Some of the kids, though, the bingo thing that we had was, how many of you saw too much back skin? How many, people did you have to break up as far as making out? Or how many, like just stupid.
Was this a bingo
chaperone
game for the
questions.
chaperones
Yes,
only?
yeah,
oh,
that's
because I'm thinking too much
Yeah,
back skin.
yeah.
There's
That
not an
feels
18-year-old
very
kid in the
bullying.
world who's going to say
Well,
yes
and
to that.
There was it was at the Children's Museum downtown, and 3 levels. They got all 3 levels. Here's the problem: all of them are in like "come fuck me" pumps. Some of the guys too, and they're all
Diversity.
in these shoes, and no one could use the elevator.
Why?
They were not letting the kids use the elevator.
Oh.
I was like, that's a liability issue.
Because that's how teen pregnancy happens.
That's right.
Loving an elevator!
Elevator.
You got to elevate those feet to relieve the.
But anyway, so we did
That's
that.
an ASU
and
joke. That's
Yeah.
a Gamage joke. Not
we did that, and Sunday.
Fuck the fairies.
Something. Sunday will be our 6-year anniversary. So just love in the air.
Oh, how sweet.
How do lesbians count it? Is it like dog years? Is it like 42? Because if it's 6 times 7, I don't know how. Is it different?
I think that's fair.
What? I think it's a fair
Well, and
question.
I'm only
I'm
sa-
just trying to
That
figure it out because I was told
makes
there would be no math.
everything
If a
makes
gay
so much
couple and a
sense,
lesbian couple have been dating for a year,
Right, because the lesbians buy the truck or rent the truck the next day, move in.
Second date. That's right.
Moe's will give it like 6 months
see,
to
now,
a year.
Aaron and I are doing everything we can to go anti-stereotype. Like just
Yeah, they
other
still
way
don't-
of stereotype.
still
We
don't
still
live
don't
together.
even live together.
when you sell them
that's
Subaru,
dog related though.
Yeah. Well,
That's true. That is dog.
I'm going to advise you to keep the
elaborate.
same
elaborate.
dogs.
Yeah.
Because if the dogs are keeping you two from being in the same house, keep the dogs as long as you can.
Longevity.
Right, because of the wonderful things
Things
he
he
does.
does, yeah.
No,
right, I was like-
no. I think the dogs are a very nice buffer at this point to keep because you never know.
No,
You
you're
never
right.
know.
You're right.
And if it all goes to shit, blame it on the fucking dogs.
It is the dog's fault. That's
it.
right. That's right.
Everybody
you
wins.
dog.
Everybody wins. You bitch.
Good to have an escape clause built right in. It's the dogs.
That's right. So
Suddenly,
anyway,
I
we
feel
have
like I need a
that.
dog.
It's very exciting.
Gonna
No.
help.
Never does.
Never does.
No story got better because a dog entered it.
Well,
No.
Hey, they wouldn't have had a
Some
movie.
of them.
Old Yeller. I mean,
Yeah, again, doesn't end happy.
no, but it makes a story.
There's less dog in the end of the story.
oh, glad I've never seen that. Oh,
More Korean barbecue, less dog.
so I could never see it. I would just get off a cliff.
Oh my God, Old Yeller's terrible.
I know I can't see it.
Oh my God.
That and Fern and Dan and Ann or something. I don't know.
Oh, where the
that-
red fern
red
grows?
fern grows. Something. Yeah, fuck
I
that.
could read
Turner
that
and
chapter
Hooch.
and still snot bubble
I
cry.
did like that one.
Oh, Turner. No, what's the other one? No, there's one that we're.
Beethoven.
No, Beethoven.
Oh, God, that movie
no.
that just came out, A Dog's Purpose, that
No.
just looked like.
Oh,
That dog dies 3 times in that fucking
Did
movie.
Ernie? Oh, more than that. It's over and over again. Well, probably
Well,
3
three
times on
times would be
camera.
over and over if you're not paying attention.
No. But it seems like there was.
but we
Oh,
definitely
no,
were
what's
going
the-
to see it. But
What's the name of the? Oh,
but
God
then
damn
they heard a
it!
dog in it. So
It's not
no.
Matilda. It's the dog's name starts with an M,
Oh, I know which one you're talking
and
about.
it's like
With
in a,
Owen Wilson in
in
it.
a big yes, and they're in a big city.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't see
Marley
it.
and Me.
Marley and Me.
Oh no, I read that book and cried like a little bitch.
Also very sad. Yeah.
Owen Wilson can't even make that funny.
No, and
No, and
Jennifer
they don't-
Aniston.
No, it was not meant.
Not
That
gonna
money movie's
happen.
not meant to be funny.
And there's not much sadder than watching Owen Wilson cry. Let me tell you that.
Watch
I can
Jennifer Aniston
believe
cry.
it.
I said
Oh.
that's one of those movies when I saw the trailer and I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like that Dog's Purpose. I'm like, no. Who's gonna go see that? Dog lovers will be killing themselves.
It's emotional porn.
Yeah, it is for no reason.
Jenny, how
Sometimes
long,
people just need to cry and they need
how
a little
long have
emotional
you
porn
and
to
your
help them.
partner been together? I forgot.
As the Disha. Thanks,
As
Jenny
the- yeah.
Marley. Yeah, we got it. Fine. I
And
forget
it
you're on the
wasn't our
delay.
second date. See, Jenny, working against the stereotypes. We've got people working against
We are.
stereotypes.
We're trying.
We're so inclusive here.
I feel like we're succeeding.
Did you happen to go to a chain restaurant for your first or second date?
Oh, that's a Buddy Early thing.
Was there a Red
Buddy
Lobster?
Early firmly believes in
Right,
the Red
firmly.
Lobster / Olive Garden
Only
lesbian
for,
connection.
Only for lesbians.
I love Red
yeah.
Lobster.
Is it Dunbar restaurants?
Was
or
there a
something?
Brenda or Robin there? Do you remember? He's so dumb.
Was anybody
Their
wearing?
names Brenda or Robin.
Was anybody wearing Doc Martens or Crocs?
Yeah.
I just need to know. or a woven belt.
25. I knew it was a long time. Jenny and her,
25.
her partner have been together for 25 years.
Wow,
Yeah?
that is a quarter century in most places.
I do remember that
Look
it was
at
a
you.
long time. I just didn't realize that it was that long. Wow.
I've almost lived in Phoenix that long. Wow.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. Anyway, but yeah, so it's just been, and Mom's 23 years of sobriety is Thursday. So
I forgot how much there's to celebrate this week with you.
oh Jesus.
How did we snare you that week to do a show?
I know.
Yeah, no kidding.
But that
Well, plus a
it's-
production meeting.
right.
Which was a couple weeks prior, right?
That's right. That production meeting was so much fun.
The actual 5 years is like the 19th or something. The production meeting was just like 2 days ago. It was on all of our feeds.
Right, but we actually, the 12th of April was our first show.
Oh, was it 12th?
Yeah, that's why we're doing it today.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be doing this next week, Al. Not sure what calendar you're working from, my friend. well,
Again, we were told there would be no math.
there is no,
There's no math. No math.
Again, this is a 238th show
That
for
a girl,
those keeping
Jenny.
score at home.
Annette wants to know how old Jenny is. She says 26. Well done.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, how long you been there?
That's right.
I love that.
Well
I love
done.
that I picked a random date. I thought it was the April 19th. I don't know where I got that from.
12th of April.
No, it's
That's
fantastic.
my brother-in-law's birthday. That's I'm like, well, that seems like something I want to remember, but I
12th of
guess not.
never.
Since his card is still on the table
Well,
with all the other cards I haven't sent.
I'd use
Very
an
nice.
e-card if I were you. Okay, Al, aside from
I
hacking up
actually like actual cards.
Oh, I
am.
I do too.
I agree
I
with
agree.
you.
But my new
do.
thing is to buy them and never send them.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many birthday cards. I'm like, and then I got the. Their birthday was last week.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'll send it next
My
year.
mom and her sisters used to go to the store and just go and buy cards, and they'd stand there for hours just reading all the cards and laughing hysterically, and they would just buy endless cards,
Yeah.
birthday, anniversary. They buy all these cards so that they would always have a card at home
Right.
to send or give, or they would always be ready for
Oh
them.
my God, I need to do that.
But I remember going to the stores with them
night,
as a
Bear.
little kid, and they would just
That's one of Harrison and I's
laughing
favorite
forever.
things to do is just go to stores and read.
Oh yeah.
Read funny greeting
Yes.
cards, and they need to be
Oh.
the funny ones, like
They
the
have to
Mike
be.
and whatever
Yep.
his name is.
in the
or-
shoebox or the old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those and the my grandma used to ruin it for me though because
Grandma.
damn it, I would go. I went up to she had her little desk, and I went up to her desk one day, and I was looking, and I was, well, what's that? And she had all because you have to be like on top of the stuff, and everything has to be done, and she already had all those fucking envelopes. Like on January 1st, January 2nd, she'd have those goddamn envelopes labeled. So they were addressed, they were stamped, they were everything, and she had the cards already set out.
Did she already have the $5 in them?
Right. Post pre-date
It
checks.
depended because sometimes my grandmother had to subtract money in case we owed her.
Shut up.
that's
She ran.
funny.
She
My
ran.
grandma was awesome.
She
The
ran.
prompt settling
Yes.
of accounts.
You're right.
Grandma
$5
kept
for your
books.
birthday minus the $3
My
for that
grandma-
stick of bubble gum.
My grandma was brilliant with that, and people were like, "Well, that sucks. You didn't get a present." I'm like, "But I don't have to pay her back either."
Was Grandma a bookie?
It's
What
a
the heck?
I've known loan sharks that were
That's
more
a
forgiving.
Right. Right.
Oh, I was thrilled.
I see
Old
the-
lady, your husband's not
If-
dead. He's hiding.
It was if I had borrowed like say $200, she'd be like, subtract birthday gift of $50. She would write that in there,
Wow.
and she'd be like, so now you only owe $150. Happy birthday.
And my dad, who never sent a card in his
All
life
right.
or wrote a piece of correspondence in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form, whenever my mother would say, like, oh, we have to go to the store and get a birthday card for somebody, he's like, why don't you just buy birthday cards for the whole year? They don't go bad in the box. And I never really got what he was going for with that expression.
Right.
And then I realized he was just like, do that. Just buy a truckload of birthday cards at the beginning of
ready.
the year
Yeah.
and have your own, like, no, that would be like, well, just get a card store then. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. but
years
the-
later, when I realized what he was telling her to do, I'm like, well, that makes no sense.
Oh, I can see it in the mall now. Perkins Hallmark, the store that
Yeah.
Ruthie loves.
But only for her, because she's
Right.
got to have a selection of cards. It was very funny.
Funny. Yeah.
Because some jokes he just told wrong. You know what I mean? Like he heard something on Welcome Back Kotter one time that he used as his own personal joke for years.
Okay.
And it wasn't until we saw Welcome Back Kotter rerun that we were like,
now it's funny.
oh, now that's what you're supposed to say.
Nope.
So I just assumed he was saying something fucked up to her. And then I realized, oh, he's saying buy them in advance and do all your birthday cards
that-
on like January 1st.
That's why she had them
And
all
now we've
done,
met
and
the
they
person
were-
that was listening.
Yeah, totally.
In the universe, someone received the message.
Yeah. Fuck
Gotcha.
that.
Yeah. No, but that's what my mom, my grandma used to do the same thing. They would all buy pre-stuff. Now, my grandmother, interestingly enough, was it, Mom, you'll have to remind me, was it anniversary or was it birthday? My grandmother, it was for one of those, I think it was his birthday. She gave him the same birthday card their entire life. Like she gave him the card when they got married, like for whatever anniversary or birthday, and she saved it. And every year she would re-give it to him. Like on there, she would have it.
Oh, she didn't buy 70 copies. She
No.
just took it back.
Right. She had kept it, and then
I like thrift too.
And then she would like set it out by the coffee maker on the coffee table, and he'd wake up in that whatever again for birthday anniversary, and it would be there, and he would read it again. Now I'm not sure. He might have not remembered what it said year to year, but the sentiment was the same. But it was a cute little.
That's really funny to see how
like
long
that.
it took before he was like,
Right.
hey, I've seen this card before.
Yeah, but you're saving nickels.
Familiar.
You're saving nickels.
Nickels. I like her old
Girl.
nickels.
Atta girl.
Bag of nickels.
I couldn't sleep it again. He was packing a roll of dimes. Yep, I've used that in conversation.
Give me your
Okay.
50-cent pieces. Come on.
I will put it back in there.
Everyone
and
has seen that penis.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I tried to put something into the chat room and it didn't work.
Oh,
so therefore,
anniversary. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. It was an
I will
anniversary.
put it back in a minute.
I know that is funny that it was like, oh my God, what could possibly be said here that is too far?
I know.
Okay,
right?
what Meow Cow? What are you trying to? What happened? We have a crisis. There was a random
See the
deleted.
deleted in the middle? You're just
Yeah,
not.
Yeah.
I did that,
Okay.
and
But
I will
everyone's
put it
trying to
back.
figure out like what was so horrible that it went up on the board and got deleted.
Wouldn't you like to fucking know? I don't know because I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Self-manage your
It'll
own
get
chat
there in a
room.
minute.
Self-manage. I
The
mean,
chat room farted.
there
I
is
like
a
that.
there is a chat room alongside the YouTube that Al monitors that I don't even check on ever. So
I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I monitor that. Oh yeah,
Hey, get on that.
get somebody check on that, please.
that is what I was just doing. Funny you should mention it.
I'm right on top of that, Rose.
Get on it, Rose. Yes. So aside from hacking
No.
and spitting up everything, you saw shows in.
Oh my God,
Didn't
we're
you see
still on What
shows
Did You
in
Do?
Cali? Oh yeah, we're still there.
I saw a parade. Oh, that's just what I did.
I did not see a parade. I'm not a fan of the parades.
What was your
I
reason
like the
for
parade.
going?
I've done like 2 in 10 years. Yes, the season tickets continue at the beautiful Pantages Theater.
Got it.
Site of several Oscar ceremonies. I'm not sure which ones. We saw An American in Paris this week, and then a couple of movies, which we'll chit-chat about.
Okay.
Lovely time the weekend before that. It was my sister's 40th high school reunion, and they did the 30th was here in Phoenix, the 40th was in Vegas.
Okay.
So there was people from other classes, and that went. 2 girls that were actually very close friends with my middle sister.
Okay.
So just a little bit less older than me than the class that graduated. Turns out I knew them a little bit better. We've stayed friends. We've stayed in contour and a lot of communication on Facebook, and we enjoy each other's company. So it was nice because I don't get to see them very much. So we got a little holiday out of it too.
Oh, nice.
A death-defying land in the Las
This-
Vegas era Puerto.
This is what I wanted to hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because as I was checking allergies going on, the Ebola tree is in my backyard. We were enjoying the open doors and fresh breezes. And then I forgot my no jinx rule, and I did not say no jinx. So I said the day before we left for Vegas, I'm like, it's been a week with the windows and doors open. The Ebola tree is in full bloom, and I haven't needed a Zyrtec or my inhaler yet.
Oh.
Dumbass.
Dun, dun, dun. It all went fucking wrong. So as the whole week had gone on and we were
Can't be
looking
good.
at the weather for Vegas, it had this symbol that I was not familiar with. And I actually had to Google what the symbol was
Get the fuck out of Vegas.
for their weather pattern. And it meant windy, which I had never seen the
Oh,
weather.
it's a nice swirly thing.
Yeah, it's a little swirly thing. And I'm
Oh.
like, does that mean tornado? Like, what the fuck is going to happen in that
Roll
picture?
over Beethoven.
Well, it meant windy, and Vegas is always very windy. So I was like, all right, I guess windy is something you put. I mean, I've been to Chicago a few times and never saw windy as the weather forecast.
Right.
It's just
Recently,
Tuesday.
well, I've only
Right.
been to Chicago once since I've had a phone that had this feature. So it may have been
Okay.
in a place that I never saw. So as we're taking off, we're all talking about this terrible wind, like we're in Into the Woods second act, and this terrible wind has come along, and people are joking about where we're going to get diverted to, because obviously everyone has been watching the news and the weather and knows about this wind that's going on in Vegas.
Right.
And the one lady's like, well, I'm actually like just a layover. I'm trying to get to Reno, so if we divert to Reno,
I'm good.
yeah, flight's over. Like everybody wins. And you could hear this going on. And I kind of dozed off. I was a little bit sleepy. And I woke up.
It's a 30-minute flight.
Yeah, I mean, they said it was a short nap. Rip Van Winkle, the motherfucker. So I wake up and I look out the window and I feel us kind of make a turn, which should not happen because it's pretty much one straight line.
Right.
In the plane, you're done. And the pilot says, well, there's, the wind is going on and they don't want you behind what's it called? Behind the plane in front of you. Why can I never remember that?
The jet stream.
No,
I just called for a stewardess.
it's not the jet stream. It's like the
Get off
wake
the
of a
plane.
boat, but it's what planes.
Oh,
leave behind.
right. I know you're talking. Yes.
So, and I can't think of that word, but they did. So they needed like 15 minutes between flights. So they were having us circle Vegas, but we weren't circling Vegas. We were circling Kingman. Like we hadn't even made it to Lake Mead yet.
Okay.
So we circle for like 20
I
minutes.
think they call it the wake.
The
Wake turbulence is turbulence that forms behind an aircraft as it passes through the air,
would
causing
make sense.
wingtip
yeah, I thought it had a
vortices.
fun name. Though.
I did too.
Some in the chat room. It's called something. So, anyways, so we circled Kingman, beautiful Kingman, and then we we decide we're gonna make our approach to Vegas, which is like 3 feet further in an airplane.
Yeah.
And I look down and there's like one cloud, like seriously one cloud bank and a perfectly blue sky, like just sitting between Kingman and Vegas. It was the crazy. I meant to take a picture, but couldn't do it. So all of a sudden I saw what looked like rain. You know how when you see a cloud in the distance, you can see the rain, you
Yeah.
see that little streak. And I was like, oh look, it's raining over the desert. That's kind of cool. And I'm like, oh wait, that's dirt going up, not rain coming down.
How about jet wash?
Nope.
'Cause
That's what happened to Goose.
I cannot remember. Yes, yeah. It's
Good call.
it is the wake, but I feel like it has a better name. So, anyways, so we go down, and then we look down at Lake Mead, and Lake Mead, of all things, has whitecaps.
Oh wow.
And I told my sister, I'm
as
like,
low
oh,
as it is.
this is gonna be bad.
Wow.
Like if Lake Mead, a body of water the size of a bathtub, has actual white caps on it, that's got to be some fucking wind. And then we like just skidded across it, and it was like sideways, bucking up and down, like people vomiting, crying, prayers going on. My sister's holding onto the seat in front of her. I'm just like, just gun this motherfucker and land it. Like, go as fast as you can into it and get us on the ground. Like, I don't care. If we lose a couple people, we lose a couple people. You know what I mean?
Were you like holding chickens?
In
Was
the
this
herd.
a tiny?
a
No, it's
biplane?
737.
Yeah.
No, it's 737.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Southwest. That's all they fly. So it was crazy. And then we like land at the airport. I look at the yellow sky, and I'm like, all right, there's a dust storm coming. And you get that same look that you always do from people that don't live in Arizona, or now it turns out Vegas too, that just have never experienced
Right. A wall of
true
dirt.
dust storm. That the sky goes
The
yellow
haboob.
and then all hell breaks loose. But it's only in the summer. I've never seen one in the spring.
Yeah, that's
I have
true.
never seen a dust storm.
Well, climate changes.
No, I mean it must be. I
There's
mean,
no such thing.
It's just no, we solved it.
Oh,
so
good.
anyways, I had just never seen it. So of course it lands. Then we're in that semi-open airport. Then we're in a car that didn't have the recirculated air, and then all of a sudden my lungs fill up with the plague. And then the cigarette smoke. Then the power goes out at the Tropicana. So the rooms
that
have
was
no
the
water,
only thing
no
that I
power.
saw about your trip was something about the Tropicana losing power.
Yeah, they lost power. We were stuck. We had money and cards and a slot machine. Blah blah blah. But it turned out to be fun. But you combine cigarette smoke.
It's a lot.
An open air haboob.
I'm getting a coffee. It's coming.
So I mean, it was just crazy, but it was so much fun. We had a good time. The party was fun. We saw a comedy show.
Or fasten seatbelts. I'm not sure
Yeah,
which thing
exactly.
that
As
is.
long as you don't have to get off the plane.
Please return to your seats.
Put your trays in the upright position.
Yeah, upright and lock position. Is that what you're doing on purpose?
No, it just I have Facebook up because I'm going to play a soundbite in a minute.
Oh, okay.
And if people keep commenting on things on Facebook, it just gives you an alert.
So we saw.
No, I'm not doing it on purpose.
We're so popular, we
Yeah.
can't help it.
So funny comedy shows, blah blah blah, and then the party was great fun. Seeing everybody, we did a night down at Fremont. That was a good time.
I still have never been to Fremont Street.
The Fremont experience is, I mean,
fun.
it's fun. It's not the same as the old Fremont experience where it was just you
Drugs
and
and
three
hookers?
homeless people. Yeah. But I mean, it really is a good time, and you did hashtag Fremont Street, and your picture would come up. He comes up across the thing. There's people.
The ceiling thing makes me seasick. I can't.
It's a lot to take
Yeah.
in, but then there's people zip lining across. Some of them are like
I wanna do the zip
flying.
line.
Some of them are
That'd be
sitting.
fun.
The sitting one is shorter.
have
We
to
saw
wait.
we saw some great bands. There was one band doing like 80s rock covers, like Living on a Prayer kind of shit, and then another song.
Hair
that
band?
Yeah. Another band that I
kinda
like,
shit.
a song that you know and you like the guy's voice, but you don't really like the song.
Right?
Like when you hear
Anything Brian Adams does, that's how I like. That's why I'm.
No, this is like one of those rocker, everybody shake your fist in the air where you're like, he's got a great voice.
Twisted Sister.
It might be, but the song is shitty. And the next time I hear it, I'll Google it.
We're not going to
But
tell
then we
you.
went down and saw.
Feel the noise.
No, it's like somebody with a truly lovely voice, like not screaming. Like they really do have a beautiful voice.
Is it Cinderella? Don't know what you got till it's gone.
Winger.
Yeah,
Oh,
one of them.
Winger.
Cinderella can't get up on
but
time.
it's like really like it's like Living on a Prayer famous.
No?
This song, I just don't know the name of it.
Would you like to spend the next hour just naming every hairband song?
Shut
we
up!
know?
No, that's you guys.
Is it Europe?
Oh, you're
Oh,
Travel exhausted.
Tesla.
So
Asia.
It was
It's
fun.
the
So fun bands,
final
and it really was fun. Then we
countdown.
settled on an '80s, like '70s, '80s cover
Sticks.
band doing like rock, doing like
Austin.
not doing rock. They were doing like new wave, like Devo and the Go-Go's, and like middle of the road new wave from the early '80s that white people liked, and it was delightful.
Fucking white people.
And there's a new hotel
Overprivileged.
down there called the D or something that kind of focuses on '80s.
Oh,
I think it's called the I think it's called the D. It's down on Fremont Street.
been there in
I
years.
can't remember what we figured out what hotel was missing. Maybe the Horseshoe is missing now. And so, but it was an '80s themed bar. So like the go-go dancers in the bar are dancing to '80s music, and all the bands that are playing are all like they had Flock of Seagulls coming. They had Human League coming. They had like real. I mean, like as we were watching the thing, I'm like, well, this seems to be a whole theme. And
oh,
then-
like wait, not impersonator bands. Like the actual
the
bands were
actual
showing.
people, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
yeah, and that's what. And so the music was all that, but
So
this cover band
It's
was.
a geriatric hotel.
Yeah,
then.
this cover band was really quite fun.
Flock of seagulls is just maybe a couple birds now. I'm not sure if it's a flock.
Oh, it's the main guy, the guy with the.
Haircut 100, maybe haircut 1.
It's like 3 pigeons and a parakeet.
And I'm always so sensitive about the flock of seagulls because to me they weren't a one-hit wonder. They had 2 lovely songs in that shitty "I Ran So Far Away" business.
Yeah, and he does not like that song.
No, I don't either.
The lead singer. He does not
I
like
hate that song.
Did it work? Maybe.
But the other 2 songs.
This might have worked. It was Jenny. It's the T-shirt that I have on. That's all I was trying to do.
So it was fun, and then
Sorry.
and then tried to work, tried to do drugs, but I got on this drug, and I'm going to Google it for you.
Wait a minute. We're gonna gloss
Okay, yeah,
over
we're
the
not
trying to do
glossing.
drugs.
No, I said I'm going to Google what the name of it is.
No. Oh, you made it sound as though you were doing drugs in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You just
I
been
was
taking
doing everything. I was
over
on
the counter.
Sudafed. I
Never
was on
mind.
Zero,
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna say Nicolas Cage was in that
Did
movie.
you
all the
find
time.
Leaving Las
some new
Vegas, that's
party
right,
drug
yeah.
to do, Alfie? That's what I'm thinking.
No. But for those who are suffering from this bad allergy season and have the asthma kicker, as I do, it's called Montelukast. I'm not really sure exactly how you pronounce it. It goes by Singulair. That's
I was just saying it's generic singular.
yeah, that's the commercial that goes on, and you
My kids are on it.
yeah.
Like you read the fucking commercial, Cat? What is that?
No,
Oh,
when I
Montezuma.
pick it up at Walgreens, it says Montezuma Cast or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it says.
and it's named after Montreal where it was created. That's the
That's
Monty
sick.
part.
Oh.
But anyway, so
And
if
it's
you're
singular.
suffering from it, let me tell you, you take it one at night before bedtime, or if it's exercise asthma you have, then 2 hours before your exercise is going to happen. And it has changed the tide of the war. I have not taken. I took Sudafed just because I
that's
didn't
good.
want to cough through somebody's $100 theater experience. But you know what
Yeah,
I
but
mean.
it's-
I took
it's
everything to make sure I was
not-
alive for that.
Yeah, it helps you breathe, but it's not an
It's not a rescue
antihistamine.
inhaler,
Right. It's
right.
not a, it's not an inhaler.
It dries up. It attacks leukocytes or whatever they are.
Yeah.
It does all
Sounds
that business,
awful.
and it helps you need your rescue inhaler
Less.
less, which is work because
Right.
since I was using it 4 times a day up until I started on that, and I now have used it like 3 times since then. The rescue inhaler, rescue inhaler that I expired 5 years ago that I still had in my pocket.
Oh, wow.
I went through that like like after not using it hardly ever.
Wow.
I was like dependent on that. So if you're going through allergies or you have the asthma, cannot recommend this because it has changed the tide of the war. So I'm all on board with Singulair and whatever it's called. And
Wow.
but I mean, I have been.
And
I
now,
have
now
been.
there's a new allergy drug that just went from prescription over the counter too. So if you cycle through like all the Claritins and the Allegras and all
Oh,
of that,
Zyrtec is the one that usually
Yeah.
keeps me alive. But
Zyrtec's what I'm on.
Zyzal is another one.
Zyzal.
It's XYZAL.
yeah,
It's
because
Zyzal.
seriously, since we've seen each other last, I have just been sick.
And if you
Like, nothing
subscribe,
but sick.
if you subscribe to your Sunday paper, there are lots and lots of coupons for
For
all
Zyzal?
of those for Zyzal,
For Zyzal?
for all of those allergy medicines.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Yeah, look in your paper, or if you need one, call me. But
Yeah.
Funny.
And
use the
Sudafed,
coupons.
and I was trying to stay off it, the Sudafed, but when it's time, it's time, and you just
just
got to
have
break
to.
down and do the crack,
Yeah,
and just do the meth lab.
cracking me up. I don't know why.
I can't take it. It dries out my
know, I'm
sinuses
liking
so
it,
bad
though.
they just like I get nosebleeds if I take.
Oh,
I
I'm
can't
with
do
you
it.
too, but
Can't.
I'd rather have a bleeding nose than that cough.
No, I had like a 2-day.
Well,
bloody
no.
nose.
and then
It was
the
terrible.
ears didn't pop for 5 days.
Oh,
I went
fuck
through
that. That's brutal.
Oh,
5
That's
days
brutal.
of plugged up ears. I was ready to
Oh
like
no!
knives
Stab
in the head.
myself in the ear with a fucking ice pick because that you just wanted to release.
And that's why we're doing free infomercials for Singulair because I was
because that helped.
down.
What to adding to your little world, one thing that I still do, and I have a friend that just tried it and he was not expecting I guess what happens with it. We've talked about it before, the sinus irrigation, the squeeze bottle you
yeah.
do with
Yeah.
the salt saline solution. I love that. I again, every morning you get up, sometimes I do it midday if I take a shower late in the day. Everything's open. I can inhale a Buick about at any time. Just breathe in, it's lovely, but it is shocking what your body traps in those nasal cavities that needs to get
So gross.
kicked out.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's worse than a passenger on United. I mean, we're going to beat that shit up and flush it right out of there. This is horrible, but it's good. It keeps me up. But the nosebleeds, I believe, because of that, the nosebleeds have subsided over the years.
Yeah,
I had
and-
what?
Oh yeah, I mean, and Aaron was saying he was part of a test where 20% of the people have panic attacks. You do, like I get the fluttering heart and the feeling of claustrophobia, and from all of them, from the Sudafed.
from
Every
the Sudafed,
allergy
yeah,
medicine
yeah.
gives me that. Even my inhaler gives me that feeling of like the world is ending. But seriously, when you can't breathe,
But that's a real issue when you go back to work on September 11th.
Oh, yeah.
2001.
I mean
There's
that's just the world taking a giant shit.
Jenny,
There's no getting
no.
around that.
Jenny, it's
No
not a neti
kidding.
pot that I use.
Fuck.
It's not the neti pot. They make it, but no, this is the squeeze bottle that you use
I was gonna say
an
it's
irrigator.
it's the same philosophy. The neti pot just relies
Oh.
more on gravity.
Gravity.
Whereas the squeeze bottle just rockets the saline up and out of your sinuses and back
it's
out the other
delightful.
side. Yeah.
Fire a rocket up there. Be
Oh.
good. I had a during the parade that we were talking about earlier. Part of my what have I done on summer vacation? I had an interesting brush with greatness. I know I told you about this story, Al, when I was at your house having food from your sister who cooked wonderfully. In fact, I'm not done. There's still 2 little meatloafs in my fridge.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I didn't read ahead during our scripts to find out who anybody in the parade was. I just assumed that the normal suspects would be there, the banks and the churches and the like. Well, our Grand Marshal was none other than the male Grand Marshal was Stacy Lewis, who has been on this show. He was there, and then following him in another vehicle was the lovely and talented performer Belinda Carlisle. But I didn't know Belinda was in the parade. I just happened to catch it and read it and oh, Belinda's here. Oh, look, there she is. So I walked to Belinda, as one host of a parade does, with a live microphone and throngs of people
Why
that are
wouldn't
there.
they? Tens of people.
And I'm announcing her, ladies and gentlemen, she performed last night, blah, blah, blah. You know her, you love her. The whole build-up.
Making shit up.
Belinda Carlisle. I do the whole thing. Everybody's, I hand her the mic, because I'm assuming
She's seen a microphone
you're
before.
Belinda Carlisle, and you've been performing for 40, 30
She
years.
has not been paid to sing at this parade. She was not going to sing.
So I wouldn't expect you to sing at all. But I was like, I hand her, I welcome her and I hand her the mic and she looks at me and she literally says to me, "What do I do?"
Oh.
And I said, "Talk to the people." Oh.
Belinda, heaven is a place on earth. Figure it out.
So she then grabs the mic and in a very uncomfortable, I've never been on stage before. This is my first rodeo. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Happy Pride. Whatever the hell it was. Anyway.
The chat room is its own animal.
I'll get there in a minute. So anyway, she says hi and she hands the mic back, and I was just dumbfounded that somebody who has been on stage in front of millions of people over many, many years has no idea what to do in a parade with a microphone.
Well, how many gay pride parades has she been in?
Doesn't matter.
It really
It
doesn't
may have
matter.
been her
Say
first
hello.
time.
Just say hello.
She might have been nervous.
I mean, I guess it would have been if there had been a
She's not going to catch gay.
a click track
She
that would have
might.
started
You
her
don't know.
song. I just thought it was kind of
If
funny.
she didn't catch it when she was part of the Go-Go, she's immune.
Now I wonder what she'd have said if I'd have said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jane Weedland."
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, she'd have been
no,
able to
bitch!
see.
Oh no!
That would've
So that
been
was
About
kind
the
of funny.
earrings.
we'd
So
have gotten fired.
so over the course of
Right. Oh,
Gina
geez.
Shock is with us.
So over the course of this week, like I said, my mom had some allergy or something had gotten to her as well. So I made a run to Walgreens for her to pick up some various items that she specifically told me not to go do. But I'm like, well, I'm coming over and I'm going and getting these things anyway because you're not going to be in your house and not have some method
Right.
of which to stop coughing,
Yeah.
sleep, any of these things. So I went and got all this stuff for her. Well. Stick a pin in that and then go with many of us have been enthralled with the Feud series.
Fuck off, Sylvia.
The Bet and Joan.
Yep.
Betty and Joan. I love it. And this past Sunday, holy shit, a whole nother level of crazy we got, which I loved. Anyway, we'll probably talk about that in a minute. But anyway, I'm standing.
Still, I know I'm behind.
Oh, God damn it.
Harrison doesn't have a TV or cable.
I will come over. I would like to watch this. This one is nuts. Joan goes fucking crazy in this one. It's fantastic. Anyway, so I'm standing in Walgreens, and again, you know how you hear things and you're like, what? It seems very familiar. So I'm standing in the middle of Walgreens and I hear this.
Tylenol 8-Hour Arthritis Pain has 2 layers of pain relief. The first is fast. The second lasts all day. We give you your day back. What you do with it is up to you.
Okay, but when she says,
Fuck off, Tylenol.
right, but what got me was when she says, the first one, fast. I mean, I'm like, that sounds like Betty Davis. I'm like, and it's one of those little things that kicks out coupons if it notices you walk by or whatever. I'm like, I'll be goddamn, that's Susan Sarandon. So what do? I remembered that, and when I got home, I Googled it. Well, apparently she's been doing Tylenol commercials for fucking ever. So I've been watching it. I'm like,
Mama's gotta make money.
Well, of course she does.
Did you tweet to her and
But
tell
no,
her that you
no,
heard
no.
her ad?
No, but I will. Well, I have an opposition to Tylenol only based on him and his
Oh, because it's
constant
deaf.
warnings
It's deaf
about
in a pill.
Tylenol. But
take it.
I was enjoying the shit out of the fact
Careful monitoring.
that Betty Davis Betty Davis is doing Tylenol commercials.
Atta girl.
It just cracked me up that I was literally in the in the middle of Walgreens by myself, and it just caught my attention. I'm like,
We give you your day back. What you do with it is up to you.
oh my God,
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is that she truly looks like Betty Davis. And Doug and I commented about this like back in the late 80s when she was like doing her heyday
right,
number
the
2.
eyes, everything she's
That
got.
she really does. But she's not. It's so funny that she's not at all doing a Betty Davis
caricature.
Impression, right.
imitation.
Right, no.
Like, doesn't sound like her. Except for her
Or-
line readings when she's actually trying to recreate the movie.
Yeah.
But any other time, she's never trying to
Oh, no.
do that.
Oh my God!
weird-
Did you see the
No,
video that Matt Maraska posted today?
Oh, of
though?
Joan
Of
Crawford,
Joan Crawford
side by side.
each from like the actual footage
Yeah,
to the
that's cute.
film and how.
Oh, I mean, for the
How
film,
striking.
she is imitating Betty Davis playing Baby Jane, but she doesn't sound like.
Oh, I think she does when she's talking
I'm
because
gonna tell
she's
you.
shortening her
Oh, yeah.
words up a little bit. She's doing
yeah,
it
but
when she
it's
talks.
it's very, very. It's not like Betty Davis is one of those people that you can really imitate.
not an impersonation.
It's not. Yeah, not at all. Like
but
like,
it sounds to me at least.
Oh no, that doesn't sound like. To me, I was like that. Doesn't, I would just know that as Susan
no,
Sarandon.
I can
but-
hear the Susan Sarandon, but when she talks, it's not.
Tylenol 8-hour arthritis
It's not
pain
that
has
voice.
2 layers of pain relief. The
That's a
first
much more
is fast.
calm voice. That's just a regular.
Yeah.
She's ramping up a little.
A
not
little,
lot.
yeah, but
the staccato that she's speaking.
Because I'm on that crazy Joan Crawford page on Facebook
I
that
am
is
too.
just insane people.
I'm on it too. Yes.
They
I
need
need to
help.
be on that.
Oh, it is. It's interesting. Dion Brown got me on that one.
Yeah,
What's it called?
The Joan Crawford exchange.
Yeah, everyone in that sentence needs a lot of help.
Yeah. Because then, I mean, Joan could have shit on the center of the stage at the Oscars in 1963,
And they'd
they
be
would have
worshiping at the shrine
right,
of the
they'd be
shit.
fine.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they would want to go to the stage and touch the wood where her shit laid. That's what they
Yeah.
want to do.
He said, "Touch the wood."
Touch the wood. Yeah.
Out on the boards.
It's innuendo. That's where the wood goes. Innuendo.
Where's the bells? Where's the bells?
Yeah, the bells of innuendo.
So anyway, that was funny to me. Then all of a sudden you hear a voice, and you're like, oh, well, that's interesting. Other than that, I'm sure there's been other exciting things, but I can't remember what any of them are at this point. But weather's been beautiful. House has been open. It took me a better part of a week to clean up the workshop where I build all the computers and stuff. Literally, after we loaded out of Pride that night,
Shit was gross.
I set that shit all in boxes in the mud room, and then I just let it sit there for 3 days. And I didn't do much for 2 days because it takes a couple
It
days
takes a
to
minute, yeah.
get off of that.
Oh my God! Monday night, I died a sudden and horrible death on my sofa, and woke up hours later, not knowing where I was, what day it was. Is the sun going up? Is the sun coming
yeah.
down? I'm not sure what's happening.
Sure.
But either way, I think about you.
The sun comes up.
Up, I
think
about you.
Oh, Jeremy Jordan.
Yes, I think about it.
Yeah. So you got those all cleaned up?
Oh, Buddy Early has just posted that he just messaged me. He thought about doing a surprise pop-in. However,
He has better things to do.
No, he has an upset tummy, according to him. Well, I hope he's out there listening somewhere in the great beyond.
It's all those bugles, buddy. It's
How
all those
upset
It
bugles.
is.
Oh, the bugles.
Or
Oh,
the
the bugles.
or the Nutter Butters.
Okay, and let me
One
tell
way
you
or
what has
another,
become
you
hard
don't
to
know.
find. And I've been going
Quality
back and forth to the
entertainment?
LA. Yeah, that too. I've been
Bugles
driving
and
back
Nutter
to the
Butters are
fourth
easy.
to the Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe it's Angeles.
Angeles. All the gas stations, corn nut free.
Interesting. I wonder if it's
What?
because of all the broken teeth.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. So I was at a grocery store with my sister like a while ago, and I saw like a corn nut aisle, and I'm like, God damn it, we gotta stop here. All 3 stops back and forth at gas stations, no corn nuts.
Sans corn nuts.
Sans corn nuts.
Sans corn nuts.
So let me tell
I
you,
like it.
I did some damage,
good work.
like only a fat girl can, to some ranch flavored corn nuts.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's funny shit.
I'm about to peas my pants.
Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do our little dance break and get ready, and we're going to come back with our drinking disclaimer. Al's going to give us our drinking word, and we're going to carry over, Cary Grant, but I'll never carry a gun.
Hey girl, you okay?
You're listening to You Talk America.
30 seconds of jelly jiggling fun. This is your 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't fucking.
Wow.
What have we been saying a lot this hour?
God, take the easy way out, bitch. What the hell is that?
I feel like we were already saying something. I went pee. I had it all queued up, and now I can't remember.
Now you've lost it.
Uh-huh. Oh. We've been saying something this whole hour, like over and over again. Innuendo.
Okay.
We'll make it work.
I honestly don't know what we've been saying all hour.
I don't either. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Close enough. The bells of innuendo call for the word to be innuendo.
We'll figure
All
that
right.
out.
I like it.
It's very
Jenny
circular
needs a
logic.
second cocktail. She's already
Well,
saying.
go get it, Jenny. We can't make it for you. God damn it.
We'll wait for you.
No, we won't. Here we go. Headlines coming at you straight out of Compton. That sounded good. Where are my scripts? God damn it. Here they are. Oh, beware the hatchet man.
What color's your favorite?
Ford Car Company makes a crib.
Well, there's Rachel Dolezal. Did I pronounce that right?
Sure.
Close enough.
Okay.
Man makes drunk eBay purchase.
I want to be as cool as this lady.
Tweets for nuggets.
Who didn't know?
And a list of things that Mike Pence cannot be alone in a room with.
Oh.
That coming up right now on Headlines.
Duck and Futz. Like, what is that about?
Oh, I just learned of that list, so we're going to get to that in just a few. Just a little
can't.
bit. Well, a lovely man from Toledo, Ohio, has pleaded not guilty to chasing a family member with a hatchet. According to a local paper, Noel Dawson Jr. is charged with domestic violence, assault, and failure to disclose personal information to officials.
Is he really lovely then?
Yeah, really?
He could be.
I feel like our adjectives are a little loose tonight.
Maybe the
think it's
people are
innuendo.
shitty.
Thank you.
Here is a picture of...
Jenny
In fact,
needs a drink.
I thought this was a Joan Crawford impersonation when I first saw it. Here is the man, 63-year-old Noel Dawson Jr., ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
Oh,
But
bitter beer face. Bitter beer face.
Yes,
We need to review the meanings of words.
stand by.
He is lovely.
I do see Peter Gallagher in that photo, though.
Yeah, kind of with the eyebrows.
I think he needs some
Yeah.
eye
If he had
cream.
yellow teeth, it'd be a deal.
I don't think he has
If he
any
had
teeth.
any teeth, it'd be a
I
deal.
Yeah.
see right there. Well, this
We'll never know.
this 63-year-old looker,
That picture
Yeah.
starts to move or open its mouth. I'm out of here.
he's accused of swinging a hatchet at a male family member, but swing and a miss, he wound up hitting the man's truck instead. Court records show Dawson refused to give his information to police, but insisted. What are you doing?
I can't look at
Oh,
it.
why?
I can't see it.
He's very handsome.
He insisted on shouting obscenities at local police. Here is a live recording of his obscenities.
God fucking when I fucking find him! When I'm gonna fucking he's a dead fucking man!
Anyway,
He was at a loss for words as I was.
he is being held on $50,000 bond.
Damn. That's something.
Duh. Fuck.
Yeah,
I don't
for
even-
real.
What just happened there?
I'm not sure. Grandpa.
How did I get introduced to that man?
How did this happen?
Daddy.
How far down am I in the dating profile that was what I swept
I'm a
to?
nice white woman from Utah. That shouldn't happen to me.
Happen to me, yeah.
I love Harrison. That makes me feel better about the bags under my eyes.
Those aren't bags. That's an entire luggage set under
Oh,
his
my
eyes.
Jesus.
That's a steamer
Sponsored
trunk.
by Samsonite.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Sponsored.
Oh,
We
By
knew when the
Samsonite?
squirrel hears its nuts.
Under your eyes, asshole.
Marnie topped that.
well. I don't want
No,
to.
don't top that.
There's an innuendo.
Well, I guess I guess
don't-
I
I
guess
don't
it's
want
better than
to.
bottoming for it. So yeah.
No, it's neither way. Not gonna happen.
Turn him around. Just
Not
turn him
happening.
around.
Oh, I was not ready
I'm
for
thinking
that.
2 condoms and hand sanitizer.
I'm thinking
Inside
separate.
one of the
Thinking of-
If I could help you
Thinking
pack
of
for the picnic.
hazmat
Yeah.
suit.
I'm thinking 2 separate rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
How's your time? Good. Stay there.
Yeah.
Hazmat suit.
Marty Ryer, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen.
Well,
Oh,
who doesn't like a good Crayola?
Oh, sure.
I do. I do.
Now, when you say the whole thing, do you say
Yes.
Crayola crayon like I do? Like, do
A
you just make it
Crayola
go?
crayon.
Just make it all French?
Wait,
Well-
is this an article about the Hamiltons? Damn it. Carry on.
All right then.
Yep.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Did you say you
Crayola.
sent-
No, not for this. But I did send you.
you
some.
sent pictures or links?
I sent a link, but there are pictures in it. It was
Got
easier
it.
to do that. So
All right,
Crayola
okay.
asked fans to help name the new crayon, and Twitter responded very colorfully. There are a lot of suggestions for white and orange shades. I wonder why. So Crayola was asking, hey, what should we do? They announced that they will retire the classic yellow crayon, Dandelion.
Really?
From the 24-pack. It's sad. Then on Friday, the company revealed via Facebook that it plans to replace Dandelion with a new color. The color will be part of the blue family, though the exact shade is under wraps until May. The company also said that once a new color is revealed, it will invite fans to help name the hue sometime in the summer. Shortly after Crayola made the announcement, though, the hashtag New Crayon Colors began to trend on Twitter, although the proposals arrived a few months early, and most users didn't actually offer names for a blue crayon. The responses were pretty colorful.
Okay.
So
I
They,
approve of
they
Twitter.
are delightful.
I
There-
approve.
there's some
There's-
good innuendo
there's-
in here, I
there's
feel like.
Trumpkin, which obviously is Trump,
An orange,
the pumpkin,
sure.
orange. All 50 shades of gray. GOP white.
I love GOP white is my favorite.
I do like that one a lot.
With the picture that, are you looking
yeah,
at it?
it's,
No.
no, it's
Oh, the
a,
Paul Ryan taking the picture
Yeah.
of his staff, and it's all white
yeah.
people.
All
I've
the
seen
white
that
people.
picture.
No, there's one black guy
way in the back. Yeah, he was
Where he
serving them.
belongs.
Yeah, he was serving them.
Jesus Christ.
There was Flint Water Brown, of course. Yeah, that's a
fair.
good
That's
one.
fair.
That's a good one. Flint Government Failure Orange, of course. Alternative Fact White.
I like
My
that one too.
favorite, my
Because
honest
alternative
to
fact
God.
white is orange.
Yes.
The best part about that is that it's orange.
It's orange.
I like that.
Also, this is my favorite though. Bowling Green. I do like
Should
that.
be like a
Simple.
hunter
Yeah.
green.
Elegant.
I do like
Never
that.
forget.
Yep.
Never remember, never
Hashtag
forget. Oh
new
no,
crayon.
never remember, always forget.
Always forget. Hashtag New Crayon Colors also could be Red State. Melted Glacier could be the new blue crayon
I
color.
like that one, Melted Glacier.
So there is Crayony McCrayon Face, Infrared Sunset, and Cheeto Dust Orange.
Okay.
There's those. The top three picks, Trumps would be Red Square, Midnight Tweet, and a write-in suggestion for Not Brown.
Not brown.
There's White Privilege, of course,
Of course.
and Pussy Hat Pink. Golden Showers Yellow.
Oh.
There you go. And Purple Rain.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Little homage.
Impeach.
Oh.
Just like
Oh,
and white supremacy, of course.
Yeah.
And the GOP yellow, which is actually green, but the GOP states there has not been any conclusive scientific studies proving that. I just can't face another day blue. No. So funny. There were
They're
really,
very funny.
yeah. Funny.
And there is
tweets on
nothing
there.
better than just the lack of self-awareness in Paul Ryan snapping
it.
that picture and not realizing
it.
like, oh shit.
That's a lot of white people. But yeah, that picture. But how funny. GOP white. It's just
But Crayola
fantastic.
Crayon had their own problems. Remember, that was didn't they?
That's right, they
Peach
had
was
some-
flesh, or they had that.
Right.
They had their
Right.
own brouhaha of
That was a while ago.
non-political
though.
correctness and.
But I mean, everybody's gonna find something.
Well, then
But
didn't they
this is
also make
fucking
some
funny.
changes? Like they became fruit or vegetable names. Like a green, it was a broccoli. Like they had They went through a phase where they were
I don't
different.
Yeah,
remember
because the
that.
yellow wasn't called dandelion when we were
To me, it was yellow when I was a kid. When I was so dandelions.
But that was
new.
remember you had the
right.
8, the 32, or the 64.
That's right.
So
With
when
the
you got to
sharpener.
64, they just started
Oh.
making shit
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
And
they
when they
did.
got to 126, or
Oh,
whatever
then
the
we were
fuck
just in
that
crazy
was.
town. Then we were just in
That's-
crazy town.
But
Set
did you
is
have to have?
amazing.
You had to have the sharpener.
But I
on
do
the
believe
side.
that dandelion
back.
didn't make an
Yeah, on the
appearance
back.
until you got to like the 64 number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll have to go look. I've got 2 sets of crayons here in the house.
I seem to remember margarine being one of the colors at one point, or I was eating a
Oh.
crayon and was hoping it was margarine.
This
Could
is
go.
tasty.
Or you were trying to
Either
color
way.
with a stick of margarine.
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's probably the best guess.
It could have happened that way.
And I would have been young
Cheeto in
because,
one hand
as
and
I've
a-
told people repeatedly,
Cheeto in one hand.
And margarine in the other.
double fisted.
I'm a little concerned with
It's
what I
not-
just said.
It's not okay. Hashtag it's not okay. The happiest day in my family's life is when they release that report about margarine being bad for you and that just eat butter, and my mother just like throwing the tub of margarine in the garbage. Like, fuck that.
Fuck that.
Thank God.
Yeah. A happy day for you too.
Oh, yeah, because I never went back.
No, of course not. My mom's the same way. I'm the same way. When I buy butter, I buy it. In fact, I realized I'm out because I had to wash my little butter dish because I like the soft
yeah,
butter
yeah.
toast.
But if
You have
but
to.
if you're old enough, sweet baby Jesus, that shit was horrible.
The margarine?
Margarine.
Or the what?
Oh,
God.
God.
I loved margarine.
well, the worst
Only
part.
because it was soft.
Well,
Like,
my
I
dad,
could-
right,
yeah.
and it did have a spreadability
Yeah.
that you look for in a lady.
Well,
But
wow.
innuendo. I'm just offering up
Nobody
for Jenny
messes
to
with
drink.
Mother Nature. No, but the what was one of the commercials? That was the. Don't you remember the commercial?
Yes, I do,
Okay.
but that was a great face.
But no, what was really worse about margarine at our house back when with my grandmother was because every fucking tub of that became a storage
Oh,
unit
that's
for
right.
food.
That's right.
So you go
Oh,
through
that's
37 different
Yeah.
things
Like
in the
country
fridge.
crock Tupperware.
Which one's the margarine, Grandma? I don't know. and you
Open
go
it.
through.
No one knows.
We don't know.
Just trying to make toast. You got 12-month-old
Serious-
gravy.
Yeah,
Right.
Got
Right.
science
Sometimes
experiment.
I thought
Now-
my mother bought margarine just to save money on
Peas.
Tupperware.
Exactly. Now, in
be.
fairness, gravy on toast is not bad.
It's
not
I'm
a
just
bad
gonna let
thing.
you know
No.
that.
Shit on a shingle.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I love shit
But
on
there's
a shingle.
something else in that
well,
shit on the
because
shingle.
It's
Chip
corned
beef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
corned chip beef.
There you go. I feel like something else was processed with the popcorn through the bowels before it went on the shingle. I'm just trying to keep the innuendos alive, people.
I think we're misunderstanding innuendo at
I
this
know.
point.
Me too.
It could be.
Now
Brought to you by a whole bunch of different
We're just-
medications.
English our second language?
Science project is what we
Yeah.
are now, apparently.
300 show all in ESL.
Well, let me change this topic right quick.
Next caller.
Babies love car rides. They're soothed by the vibration from the road and a gentle hum of an engine, but
I like a Hummer and a vibrator. I'm not going to argue with either one of those.
Again, not innuendo.
Just straight up endo.
That's not how this works.
That's not how any of this works.
you know what? This show is better with booze. Unfortunately,
I've been telling you that for years.
I know. I took some time off. Some tots, it's the only way that you can make them go to sleep. Unfortunately, babies are terrible drivers and they rarely chip in for gas. But stopping everything to take them for a spin every time they get fussy is rather inconvenient. So Ford Motor Company, yes, that's right, Ford Motor Car Company might have the solution for us. It's made a prototype of a new kind of crib that simulates all the best parts of a car ride without the exhaust. The Max Motor Dreams crib looks like a designer bassinet from the outside, except with a large Ford logo on the side. Let me show you a picture of this. Here is the crib.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
There's the crib. A speaker under the baby plays engine sounds. The base of the crib slowly rocks from side to side, simulating the sensation of a moving car. The rim of the crib is lined with LED lights
Don't rim it.
that turn. The lights turn off and on like passing street lights. Experts say white noise is repetitive, and the repetitive movement reminds the babies of being in the womb. The Max design looks very similar to another smart crib released earlier this year, created by renowned industrial designer Yves Behar and pediatrician Dr. Harvey Karp. Also, MIT engineers were involved in it. It costs $1,100. It also automates the rocking and white noise babies love, like this one. However, this crib, the Max Motor Dreams crib, is not available to the public at this point. The crib was designed for Ford as part of an ad campaign to promote its Max line of cars. However, the car company is holding a raffle for this, and Ford says it's considering mass producing the crib due to popular demand and interest. But I mean, that makes complete sense. It rocks. It makes car noises. I mean, anything to get those little fuckers to go to sleep. What the hell? I mean, Jack Daniels is only going to work so many times.
With a Benadryl kicker first.
And then you wind up looking like this guy before it's all over with.
That's when you've not driven a Ford lately.
Damn it!
I just want to
Take it
say how smart I find that crib. I thought that would be a wonderful addition to any room, baby or not, and make
Sure.
it bigger. I'll get in that motherfucker.
Exactly.
You get the
How
same job
soothing
done.
it
You get the
sounds.
same job done with your swing and a good show tunes album.
Yeah.
Same
Or
song.
listening to this show.
Right.
That it was a lovely piece of furniture.
is.
I have to compliment
That was
them on
I
their
mean, you look at the
design
beautiful,
aesthetic.
that beautiful thing right there with the Ford logo. I mean, but it makes complete sense. I mean, something that simulates the motion of a car. Why wouldn't that work?
And I've heard
Because
this
babies
story.
are assholes.
Yeah,
And it's just not going to
assholes.
work with most babies.
Babies are assholes.
I have heard this from multiple people that sometimes
Many people are saying.
many good people, the best
The best
people,
Best people.
that they do have to take the kids out in the car and like drive around the block a few times when they've run out of other options. And I'm like, is your goal to find a cliff and drive off it? I'd like, having never had a child, I can only wonder what happens. But you hear that.
Oh, yeah, because it happens.
Quite
You put
often.
that kid in the car seat, they're all like snug and warm. Close the door, drive down the block.
So I mean,
They're
I think
out.
it's a smart idea to
There is
recreate that.
Works
and-
on me, too.
There is a current commercial on. I don't know what car line it's for, but it's one of those things where the daddy gets up in the middle of the night to take the kid out in the car to drive around so they can sleep. And the next morning, the mom walks in the kitchen. You know, she's waking up and she walks in, and the little baby and the dad are both asleep at the counter in the kitchen from their overnight adventure. And it's one of those things that makes everything.
That sounds like an innuendo. I think I used it right that time.
Could be. Who knows?
Your overnight adventure.
Yeah,
Have you seen that
getting better.
dirty,
You're getting
filthy,
better.
fucking Volkswagen commercial?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
watch commercials.
Where they
They're doing it in the car.
they do it in the car, and every time they get out of the car, there's another kid.
They need a bigger car.
Oh.
Like the Volkswagen's always rocking. Google it when you get home.
They start in
Oh
the
my God.
They start in the Beetle. Then they have to go to the four-door car. Then they have to go to an SUV.
Then they need a Passat.
Then they finally
Then
have
they
to go
need
to the
Touareg.
biggest fucking thing
The
Volkswagen
big minivan
made.
that they make,
That's what
which
they
is fucking nice. Let me tell you about that minivan.
Is there stow and go seating?
Not only is there stow and go seating, but there's also picnic theater seating where you can take the back row, flip it around so that you're sitting out the back, and you are
Wow.
comfortably reclining in a recliner, but outdoors. It's amazing. I tried to make Sharon buy it for me, and she won't. She hates me.
I may buy that.
Hates you.
I may buy that for you just so I can drive around in the back.
Wow, seriously.
Oh,
Is
you
that
wouldn't
like
wanna
that
sit-
movie?
I feel like
Was that
wonderful
like
things
that
can happen
movie?
in the behind portion of that.
I believe it.
Oh,
This is
I'm
back.
a little nervous.
And the behind.
But was that like the
That was
movie
innuendo,
with
definitely.
Steve Carell and
The Way, Way
whatever,
Back.
The Way Back.
Which
Oh.
I have,
appreciate
and I have to say, not only was that movie just a total fucking delight.
No.
I knew, and I think we talked about this on the show, but there's been 300 of these motherfuckers. So
238.
Damn it.
that many, 5 years, whatever
One
that
you can,
equates
one
to.
you can't find. That
I was told there would be no math. So I knew that the expression seemed familiar, but I was at a loss.
Yes.
And then when the kid says about he wanted to go in the station wagon and sit in the way back, seriously, I almost teared up like a beloved pet had died in the way back. I just hadn't heard that since I was a little kid, and it had been so long that I couldn't make the expression work until when you would fight to sit in that station wagon
in the
seat that
square
faced
back there,
backwards. Yeah, and you face backwards, seeing what was coming to ram you in the ass.
Oh, that's where it started.
Yeah.
Again,
Could have saved like $20 on therapy. I just got
value
that.
at
20 bucks
first,
is 20
but
bucks.
Not an innuendo. That was just straight up dirty.
Yeah,
I think we're confusing double entendre with
maybe.
It could be.
yeah
It's
innuendo.
okay. It's all right.
That's
Figure it
nice. So.
Now, if I said Marty
what
was
are
a
we
dirty
doing?
fucking whore, yeah. Whose turn is it?
Oh,
Marnes.
What part of the show are we in?
well. Lovely Rachel Dolezal.
Sure.
Yep.
If you do not recall, Rachel Dolezal was the person who ran the NAACP, president, branch
Identified
president.
as
A chapter.
African American.
And no, do not misquote. She
Wow.
does not identify as African American.
Not anymore.
She identifies as black.
That's
Oh,
fair.
okay. That's fair.
God damn it. Let me finish my
Because
story.
she's from Toledo, not African. I understand.
But she was Lebanese, for Christ's sake.
Washington. God damn.
Lesbian, Blanche.
I just gotta.
a tough fucking room.
I'm an
gotta
actual
cool off.
Lebanese, not
Yeah.
lesbian.
I gotta
Got it.
cool off. I got a little
Lady
upset about
Jamie
that.
Farr.
Anyway, she's a little controversial. There was,
And unattractive as hell to
a
me.
little bit. Anyway, apparently in her new People magazine article
And book.
she claims it's
I thought
coming
that bitch
out.
was
yes.
homeless.
No, well, not anymore because she wrote a book.
well, good on her.
She says that she was on Smirconish, right?
Yeah.
Michael Smirconish on CNN, and there was a comparison drawn between Rachel Dolezal and Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay. And what was that parallel?
I'm gonna
Process.
I'm
You know?
gonna have a different response.
It was when Caitlyn Jenner was super tan. No, it was because of the wonderful things she does. After she was outed,
That wizard is everywhere.
I know.
2 times.
Anyway, after it was revealed that Dolezal was posing as a black woman despite being born white, and then
Identified. She wasn't posing. She was identifying as-
I'm reading.
Yeah.
After she was outed, Dolezal revealed that she identifies as being black, even though she knows she was born white. Dolezal made the appearance on CNN while promoting her new memoir, In Full Color. Catchy. Finding
title. I
My
like it.
Place in a Black and White World. When the CNN anchor commented that he saw a lot of similarity between Dolezal and Jenner. And she admitted that a lot of people do draw that comparison. With that parallel.
Because they're
it's
both
that-
entitled white assholes? What? I'm not sure.
No, because
And I wanna be-
you have to identify in some way because we're ignoring some of her backstory.
Correct.
That she is adopted. Am I
I believe
mistaken?
that is correct, yes.
She was raised by black parents.
Yeah.
She married a black man. Her children.
And black man.
I know. It's so hard to not do the what's her face from Designing Women. Where did you come from?
Coffee almost went all
So
over Cat.
it really is that thing of if you tell someone you identify now as a woman, why is that less controversial than telling someone I identify as black?
Right.
And I'm coming at this from a different way because I'm adopted. So
Sure. No, I get it.
who
Yeah.
do I get to say I identify with? Do I go with my neighbors who are predominantly Italian or Polish?
Right.
Do I go with my family who's Scottish,
Sure.
Welsh? Like none of them are truly me,
Right.
Because we don't know what my
Background.
ethnic background
Yeah.
is.
Heritage.
Yep.
Right. So where do you? And we're so, and I think we've had this conversation too. It's like a greatest hit show because there's so much mixing of different nationalities. Like if Kat's children decide to say they're white, are they going to get some kind of a backlash because they're half Indian? Or if they say they're Indian, do they get some kind of backlash? Like
Right.
now that everyone is kind of intermixing of the races, like who says you can't say? And if she was raised in a black community, transracial is going to be a new
Transracial.
word. And
Yeah,
I
I really
feel,
think it would be
And
an
this
app
was an
that's a good
interesting
call.
podcast. I can't take credit for this thought because it was a podcast that I was listening to that I cannot remember or find that said she's 20 years early to a conversation we're all going to have.
Sure.
We're going to wake up in that world where no one.
I love it.
Oh my God.
love
She
it.
throws nothing away. We're like,
excited about
but we really are just a few years away from everyone having to pick. Like, do you go to the Polish festival? Do you go to the Italian festival? Do you go to
The festival.
right? So,
I
the,
wish to go to the
King's
festival.
Wow, even she went into the woods. So,
Very
and
nice.
we really are kind of left with that place about what, like, why are we so judgy of this woman who was raised
Right.
in this culture? And yes, she did use a little accelerated tanner and she curled her hair, but is that really the like in a world where we're supposed to be like
but wasn't
accepting
there-
people's
In a
like
world.
identities? Yeah.
Wasn't this something that in a lot of ways kind of started with Mariah Carey? Like that conversation.
Tiger Woods, another
Tiger
one.
Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Right.
You
And
know.
it was all like that early 90s, I feel
Yeah, because there was
like.
that joke about when Jesse Jackson used to talk about the Rainbow Coalition, and the one comedian would be, oh, Mariah Carey. She's every race because she is so many things, I guess. I don't really-
Multi-ethnic.
Yeah,
Sure.
allegedly she really is. I know nothing about her background. I just
Sure.
know that joke about Mariah Carey
Sure.
from that comedian talking about the Rainbow Coalition.
Right,
and they
sure.
would say that about Tiger Woods too. Isn't he
That's right, Aaron.
partly Asian and partly African
Yes,
American?
absolutely, yes.
And all good at golf? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I mean,
We have to get to this place where we just believe people and go, okay, sure.
Yeah, what if that's what you absolutely. The reason with this, I thought it was interesting, because it goes far more to what Kat said about just white entitled people.
Well,
to be
right, but if you're
honest.
not raised in a white world,
But
then
the Caitlyn Jenner part, I was
right,
like,
yes.
I would
Oh
be
no, no,
pissed
and I
about
do. I did that too, and
being
my
compared.
first reaction was like tear this woman apart, and then I like read about her life, and I'm like, well, you know, I come from as an adopted person. Like I can pretend I'm any nationality I want to because there isn't one. Like I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, clearly it's a pale one, but you know that's where we land it.
I'm trying to find your color right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
And
I'm only Scandinavian.
I'm only
over
5'8",
here,
so
yeah.
Scandinavian's pretty
Yeah.
much off the table.
Yeah, that's
How's
really
it feel
true,
about huge?
actually.
Yeah, either that it
that's
was a
true.
whiter midget,
Yeah.
you know, a whiter shade of pale.
Lavender.
It was a
So, I mean,
Scandinavian little person.
But it really is. Like, what
Yeah.
if someone who was adopted by a Jewish family, like, and you get into religion, so can you not say that you're Jewish because you're, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
I say I'm a faux Jew.
I do kind of understand the confusion.
faux Jew.
Because maybe she did. Faux Jew. Faux Jew.
Faux
Jew.
I'm a faux Jew.
Faux Jew, Sylvia.
I'm a faux Jew.
Exactly.
That's right. I'm a faux
So
Jew.
I do
off,
wonder
Sylvia.
about that. Like I think the harshness towards her just went to an extreme of like, okay, if we can just make up we're any sex we want to,
Well, and that's
or whatever you self-identify, then what keeps you from the other?
But I think
parts.
it was kind of like the one.
Like who's
more
that
thing?
Pat Robertson cunty guy that's all mad because he says that like Barack Obama identifies as black, not as white, so he's denying his parentage, and he's that was it Pat Robertson or
I know who
that was bashing Halle Berry for not thanking her white ancestors at the Oscars, and she only acknowledged her black half. So like
because
this,
white people are terrible. I want to stop being a white person.
Then identify with.
I don't want to
You know,
identify
but-
with white people anymore.
but,
White
you know,
people are
that's-
horrible people.
But you're right
but
with
so
the
Aaron,
coming. But
so
with
Aaron
the
says I'm
20
clearly Asian, but what if I had been adopted by Asian parents and was raised in an Asian culture? Would I be not able to say that I identify as Asian if I was raised?
No, but it'd be hysterical because of the whole idea of Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Right.
That would be
I didn't
fabulous.
understand the
Oh my
assignment.
God.
They only had me so my brother could have a
Jesus.
kidney.
I would. Oh, I love that.
It's.
Anyway,
I mean,
yeah.
it really is a thing of like, how do you pick how you identify?
But
And-
I think that at the time that Dolezal and everything happened with Rachel Dolezal, it was kind of like, we're trying to figure out where people are going to the bathroom for some odd reason. We're trying to,
Right.
that became a thing. And
It's gonna be in your yard in a minute.
Absolutely. But,
Saves water.
But you have,
Oddly.
I've done it.
you have somebody who's, now we're
It-
trying, it's gender and it's this. And now you have someone who's like, well, I'm black. Well, good for you.
Right.
Well, fuck, I don't know what to
But
say.
it's the fact that we go right to just public shaming of her.
Oh, I
That's-
do think that it
yeah,
was one
that's-
of those. Where
That's
it
the
was kinda
social
like,
media mob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the mob mentality that I was like, okay, this is not the one. And like I said, and I heard that podcast with that thoughtful discussion of like, we're 20 years away from this because no one is sticking within racial guidelines anymore for marriage, for having children, for adopting children. You know, we want refugees from other countries that are going to need parents. We're bringing people from all over. Like, how do you explain to Madonna's 3 children?
Sure.
Are they British? Are they American? Are they African?
Look
are
at the
they
Pitt Jolie
Italian?
clan.
Are they
They're rich.
Yeah, the Pitt
There's a
Jolie
difference.
That's where I was
They're
going.
rich.
Yeah.
They are, but again,
Right.
that doesn't help them at a festival if they show up. Like
Sure.
if Madonna's son David, I believe that's his
David, yep, the
David
youngest one.
Is
the
he the one
youngest
from the hot trainer?
No,
No, he's
not.
no, that's
Well,
not. That's
he might
Lord
be, but
Lourdes.
we
Oh,
don't
fuck
know.
her. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
that's Lourdes. But so,
Looking for a
like
dad.
her, does she? But does he say? Can he go to the Italian festival and tell them he was raised Italian
Sure.
when he's
Clearly.
clearly,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So then,
Only if Fergie's there.
yeah.
Be Italian. That's the whole thing.
Stop
Okay.
singing.
The only time I've ever enjoyed Fergie.
Well, yeah.
What? It's a good
I
song.
love it when it's impersonation day.
Well, and Aaron says our podcast
Song day.
director, his podcast director is from Alabama, but has lived in Japan most of his life, and now feels Aaron feels like
Yeah.
he's pretty much Asian. And Nant sometimes more as American rather than Indian. I mean,
Stay Indian.
just stay Indian, young man.
I find everything about her, and I intend to read the book. I'm not going to put it on the reading list, but I really do, and maybe I'm giving her more sympathy or empathy than she deserves, but at the same time, it was one of those times of like public shaming that I was like, wow, this is off the mark. And especially from the community, that the LBGT community, we're all about however you self-identify. Like, we're supposed to be embracing that.
Or we're going to put her on a cross.
Right. Oh, yeah, right. And we're all lining up to drive the nails in and pee on it.
Well, we wouldn't.
Well,
do
whatever
that.
whatever the appropriate
Jesus
crayon
wasn't
is.
black.
Because when they're crucifying somebody else, they're leaving us alone.
Right, exactly. If they're picking on her, we get to get married.
Guys,
That's the whole bait and switch distraction thing for the entire administration currently.
Jesus wasn't black, and Santa
Jewish.
just is white.
Just is white.
He is white.
Yeah. So.
Oh, by the way, I'm still looking for her white ass to show up on NBC
Oh my
somewhere.
god! Oh, and I'm about to hijack this show right out from.
Stand by. You'll get your turn.
No, I'm just warning y'all in advance.
Oh, I'm not-
We're going down a dark tunnel, Kat and I.
I'm not.
Where are we going?
Innuendo.
Got it.
Wait, like real innuendo or that shit you've been doing all show?
Have you done with that one?
No, the dark tunnel was an innuendo.
Oh,
Now
properly used.
I want to forewarn you. There might be a dialect used in this story.
Oh,
yes!
I don't
it's
know.
accent day.
I'm not sure if it is or not, but we're gonna see.
I feel like I should get a card on Accent Day. I'm so happy.
A British man is taken to the drunken online purchase to the next level by claiming to have bought a random plot of land in North Little Rock, Arkansas, all the way from across the pond. Reddit user Mark Hall, otherwise known as Coffee is for Closers, posted on
That's a true story.
Posted on the Little Rock subreddit page asking if anyone in the group knew where the plot of land was. As it turns out, Hall claimed he bought a small piece of land in the comments, and the user said that the purchase was a little more than a beer into it. So here's a map. The red dot shows you the plot of land in which the gentleman has purchased. The Leeds native used a website called BidSpotter, which helps to find items such as real estate to bid on online auctions, similar to eBay. Users are quick to spot the location, which is in the 900 block of I Street in North Little Rock, just a bit north of the Tyson Foods chicken plant. The plot of land sits next to Walnut Grove Baptist Church, which you can see right there in the picture, just a little bit above. In fact,
Handy, close to God.
Accents in a map? I don't know what to do.
I will zoom in there a little bit for you.
I'm predicting there are 3 possible distinct accents here.
We got Walnut Grove.
1 British,
Little half
2
pint.
Southern, 3 drunk.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see which one shows up.
4
I
half
hope it's a
pints.
drunk Northern Alabaman.
Oh wow.
It's
Who's
Arkansas.
maybe watched Downton Abbey a couple times.
Oh,
I don't know what we're going to get.
I love it.
Uh,
I feel like we're building this up a lot.
For those of you following along, users were quick to spot the location, which is in the 900 block of I Street in North Little Rock, just a bit north of the Tyson Food Plant. The plot of land, which sits next to the Walnut Grove Baptist Church, as featured in our picture, 924. One
Is that
user.
the Dixie Church of
And the
Christ
Dixie
right
Church
there?
of Christ, yeah.
Or is that a different church?
No, different. Well,
Two
my
churches.
gosh.
he's adjacent to the Walnut Grove Church, the Baptist Church.
Oh, but
right
he's
there.
across the street from the Dixie
Yeah,
Church
Just
of
kitty
Christ.
corner, catty corner, depending on how you say it.
But fuck them.
churches.
He's separated by that little 2 houses right there.
Fuck them.
I'm pointing to this like anybody else can see me point. I need the Al Roker. I need the big wall so I can write on shit. That's what I need.
Isn't that why we got this?
Yeah, that worked
And
out
here's
real
what
well.
the weather's like in your neck of the woods. Does that help
Here
you?
it is.
Oh my God, Al Roker.
But you know what? That's an official out cue to local affiliates. If you under, it's a long
Of
story.
course I know that. I'm not dumb.
Well-
I'm not an asshole.
I've seen.
Yes, you are.
I've seen those words.
Maybe unrelated topics.
One user whose screen name is Electron Spiderwort, don't know fucking why, he managed to dig up that the land was previously owned by the church, the Walnut Grove Baptist Church, way back in 2010. Now, the estimated taxes per year on it, according to the ArkansasCountyData.com site, would be about $40 a year. Jesus Christ, there was property taxes were like that out here. Hall said that he had no idea where the land was or even if it was a good or bad purchase. As for plans after purchasing, the user has a few ideas. Quote, I thought it'd be good and funny to have put beside my friend's face and wait for the Google car to drive past. Maybe take a picture with it.
I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night.
Say the
I
rain
didn't
in
know we
Spain.
were going My Fair Lady Cockney. I would have worn a tiara. I would have Audrey Hepburn this bitch up.
Say the rain in Spain thing.
I don't know how. So,
Hartford, Harrisford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly happen. I could have spread my wings.
A thousand things.
So he.
I've never done before.
in the-
I've never done before.
The rain in Spain.
in the comments on the website, he also
Where's
said,
that blasted rain?
I realize it's funnier for them to watch us and not look at this land. He thought, in the comments on the page, he said he'd actually like to put the land to good use, asking for any other ideas. The idea was floated around to set up a tent and put up an Airbnb on the land. The one other user even mentioned it to be a community garden. It'll be interesting to see what comes from the drunken purchase, whether it be a sign with a face on
from
it
the drunken purchase.
or an actual garden.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played. Wait, two things.
This is the song that goes like this.
Does the article say how much he paid for the plot of land?
It does not. It does not.
$10 an acre. I don't know.
How many pence was it, sir?
Not a British farthing.
How many shillings for a plot of land in Arkansas? Apparently now we've gone there.
I've got to get me land.
Next week is Pirate Week. Don't spoil it for the listeners.
I'm gonna be here next week then.
We are 7 days away from Pirate Week.
How much for your church adjacent property?
Your double church adjacent property.
Remember when this train used to be on the tracks?
Wait, there were tracks?
Yeah.
We were on a train.
They were on the plane.
Where's the train?
Oh,
Rain
I
in
always
Spain.
miss the train.
I was mainly on the plane.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wow, that's a delight.
Did your story have an ending?
That's it.
Oh, good.
No, there's no ending. He still owns a plot of land next to a church in Arkansas.
That's
I
lovely.
like
I
it.
want to do that.
Oh my God.
I want to just buy stuff that I don't need and pay $40 a year to pay the taxes.
For
That sounds
real.
lovely.
I don't want property in
I would
Arkansas.
There's some,
Airbnb that shit.
there's some
Don't think I
very
wouldn't.
beautiful property.
Yeah,
I
no,
would.
there can be, but I've heard some, different horror stories about it. So I think no.
I'm-
Aaron just spit chicken out of his nose,
If
and
you,
that's concerning to
From
me.
right next to the church, if you throw a banjo in the air, anybody that catches it can play it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, with
The banjo is very challenging. I've
With
tried
their
before.
tooth.
You got to have the little finger picks.
just with
Gotta
their
be
tooth.
very agile.
That's a finger pick.
I'm glad I at least forewarned you of the upcoming potential for a dialect.
Well, we're still trying to figure out what that dialect was. Is the problem?
I love Accent Day.
I know.
I do.
I'm really terrible at them, but I
I'm awful
love
at them. Yeah.
I was
Accent
trying to
Day.
go for what is her name, Mrs. Potts or Chip from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, very
I was
nice.
trying to be timely, with the movie.
Tale as old as
But I
Song as old as rhyme.
But I knew Dion Brown would hate it if I sounded like Angela Lansbury.
He has a real
we
thing
gotta-
about her.
I would have loved that. That would have been lovely.
I am seriously willing to duel him over that because she's a national fucking treasure.
Well, yeah. But that's all.
Yes.
Move on, little lady.
Okay, so we're doing this.
All right, real good.
What's next?
So, my story is not quite.
Oh
as
my God,
fun.
we're still on headlines.
No, it's still not as fun. But
Okay.
Clayton, do you have the
We can
the
make
little
it as
pictures
funny.
of that person or no? That
There
I
were the
sent?
two pictures of the
Yeah.
of the crowd.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so I just want to be as badass as this this gal is, and she has that similar accent that Clayton was trying to get. Not really. May we all be as cool as this woman in the face of white supremacy. This chick, she's cool. Sophia Khan. Had no time for the English Defense League protesters. This gal, when a group of rowdy white supremacists infiltrated Sophia Khan's home city in Birmingham, England, she chose to kill him with kindness. And this thing is brilliant. And it made for some incredible photos that are up here. A group of marchers with the far-right English Defense League were demonstrating in Birmingham's city center in response to the attack on Westminster Bridge last month. The Islamophobic group is known for its often rowdy and violent protests. She says, I ended up going to the EDL demo because there's a history of harassment and assault of Muslims, vulnerable members of the public, and people of color at the demos and outside of it. She was calmly hanging around the demonstration when she saw one woman in a hijab completely surrounded by dozens of angry white men, and she chose to step in. That's when this Joe Giddens, who took these photos, captured the incredible moment between Khan and this EDL douchebag Ian Crossland. Seriously, what a little fucking white prick. Ugh. Khan said she didn't feel threatened in the slightest way, and it's fairly obvious. Through her interaction with Crossland, she remained smiling with her hands in her pockets, clearly unfazed. The photo quickly went viral, and thousands on Twitter celebrated her badassery, and that was the line that just caught me. I love it. Her badassery.
Badassery.
And just a brave, strong, brave, like your shirt.
She was gonna stand up. She was like, "That no, not okay." And I'm just gonna walk in here. We're not gonna have this. And a Birmingham MP, Jess Phillips, hailed Khan as the real Brummy, if I'm saying that correctly.
Brummy?
A nickname, Brummy. Hello. A nickname.
Would you like a piece of land?
Do you want to start a band?
In Arkansas.
Got my hair done.
You play drum? Do you play drums? I need a drummer. I need a drummer.
Suddenly we're on Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, Wensleydale. I love cheese. Wensleydale is so good. I love Wallace and Gromit. I love it.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's a horror movie.
Wallace, get up, Gromit. It's Wednesday. It's cheese day, Gromit. I love cheese day.
Oh my god.
Wallace and Gromit is fantastic.
They're pretty funny. Not as funny as this, though.
Oh my god.
I could get high and listen to that shit.
I'm gonna have to show you Wallace and Gromit.
I feel like the bells of innuendo will
It's like
ring.
a British claymation. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
I love Wensleydale.
Anyway.
It's so fun.
Well, this is so. Just stop this.
Oh, fine, sure.
No, never stop. Never
I
stop.
never stop. That's true.
Clay
There's
McKee,
a-
don't stop believing.
Don't stop. Journey will get mad.
I think that one of the things that I loved most about this was some of the Twitter reaction. This whole tweeting thing I think is just getting to be a little too much. But what I do love was the reaction, and it's of one person in particular that says, I fucking love this photo. Look at how helpless, clueless, and raging the EDL prick is. Mm-hmm. Look at how in control, calm, and cool as fuck she is. And it's so true. And that kill him with kindness and get in there and just be like, what? It drives them nuts. It drives them absolutely insane. So I was thrilled about her and her. There's an interview that's in this, and I'll put it into the chat room in case anybody wants to see it. But her, first of all, her accent is a delight, unlike ours.
Wow.
France.
These
Just saying.
accents have also been a delight,
They've been something.
in my opinion.
They've been something.
In my
And,
educated opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm a trained actor.
yeah, you're something.
Roll over. Play dead.
Oh.
Show me your training.
No, keep to
The albino is funny now. Look at him. Look.
You know, and Anant just said that just being nice is considered badass and incredible. And in those situations, Aaron from LA is right. At a protest, it is. Because when you can walk into a situation like that and not have a temper flare.
Right. Or
And
Facebook or anywhere, really, that you don't
Anywhere.
act like a
That's
total...
right.
If
Or
you
your
can deal with a
nostrils.
customer service person and not have a total human meltdown on
You're
them.
not having a meltdown. You're not condescending, albeit you want to be. That you're not. I mean, there's none of it. You're just like,
Yeah.
okay.
And I spent a good 3.5, 4 hours today with the customer service humans of the world and their many accents. And I have to say that it finally got across while being as polite as humanly possible with all the pleases and thank yous and let me just say this one more time. I was finally given the opportunity to be like, here's the alternative we can offer. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
If you could have opened with that like an
Right.
hour ago, we
Right.
wouldn't still be on the phone. Like,
Yeah.
here's the alternative to something that got lost in translation. How about you just try this hotel? It has a better rate. It's a couple miles away. Enjoy your life.
Sure.
Like something happened with when you booked it to when you changed your reservation.
Be our guest.
Right, and it really, but I wanted to like play that song until you cry enough, or what's that fabulous line
Don't
in that
cry
song?
for me, Argentina.
No.
Oh,
In the middle
my
of "Be
bad.
Our
Okay.
Guest" is we'll keep going until you say you
Till you shout, I'm done.
till you shout I'm done. And it really was. It was finally like the lady was like,
Enough, I'm done. That's what it is.
until you say enough, I'm done. So it really was that thing of just stay polite, stay on point, stay with the people. It's not their fault.
Focus on your message.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Keep your-
Messaging.
messaging.
Right.
Keeping that message through a long,
One goal.
tedious conversation until she was like, here's the alternative where you get a hotel room at about the price that you think you should pay in the right part of the city. Are we happy? Could you be happy with that? Of course, perfectly acceptable.
There you have it.
response.
Right.
If that other hotel is too expensive on that one night, then let's...
And I think that
But you just-
how we react to a situation, because I'm not sitting here trying to say that's how I would be, because I'm with Jenny. I'd be plotting to kill the assholes, and the not brave, not calling it a protest like that. You have some white supremacist standing in front of you, spewing all of that hate and that adrenaline,
Or
that
the
would be
Jesus
going.
freaks in Vegas on the street.
Yes,
like,
yes.
But there's a point in your life where you
But
just
if you
have
know
to
you're
just...
protecting someone else, or you're stepping in, and that's what you know you're there for.
Yeah.
That was your intent going in. Okay. But
if there's
it'd be
harassment,
hard.
if there's harassment of someone going on, yes, you do have to step up. But if it's like she was saying, like if it's just someone expressing the opinion,
Right.
and I have a big fucking hard time with this, and it takes everything in my being to try, fail often, but try to just have your say, spew your hate, but I just have to go this way.
Sure.
And unless you're openly harassing, unless you're openly going after someone, because now it's in these places like Vegas, at parades, at Pride festivals, and all that stuff. There's that stuff, and your gut urge is to like, God, won't it just feel great to just jump in the mud with these people and just duke it out and show how smart and clever I am and how many funny, fancy words or accents I can use. Or you could just walk away and ignore them.
Yep.
And it really does, and it's a sign of my elderly state that it's like, I fail. I'm not saying I'm probably get about like a 25% so far, but it really is my new go-to move to just be like disengage, unfollow, unfriend.
Yeah, you were talking
walk
about
the
that
other way.
a couple of weeks ago, with like on Facebook and different things.
Yeah,
So,
like it's just not.
Yeah.
And I'll type out my smart ass response to something and then just hit delete because
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
where did we go? Where
Right.
did we end up?
Right.
Right.
Who's listening to this rant?
Right.
So.
Yep.
But I mean, and again, like everybody's saying, like not brave, not comment or protest. I'm just trying. I'm failing most of the time, but it's my new like. And I
Good for you.
succeeded in Vegas,
Good work.
mostly because I was coughing too hard to have a rebuttal. But it was like one of those things where like there's
Whatever
no
it takes.
there's
Yeah,
no point
right.
in yelling back at someone because you don't know who they're against.
Well, if
Are they
somebody
against
is
the strippers,
because
the
hate begets
gays,
hate.
the
Like, hate will
gamblers,
beget
like
hate. Sure.
because their message is so unclear now of who the sinner is.
Right.
Because
Well, in Vegas, there's a
It's-
lot of
yeah, that's
options.
what I mean, like-
Hang on a second. If you're gonna go,
Spin the wheel. Pick an opening.
if you're gonna go be a Jesus freak and hate on people in Vegas, there's a lot to choose from there.
exactly, but you kind of feel like
If
I
there
don't think
really,
he's talking
if
to me
there,
today.
if there ever was to be a real life Sodom and Gomorrah, I feel like
Yeah.
Vegas would be one of
Could
those.
be, sure.
Oh, and I think headlining with rhinestones, yes, Sodom
right.
and Gomorrah. Here, 3 nights, Dark Thursday, enjoy the veal.
Here's a white tiger. Enjoy that.
yeah, exactly.
There's a
What
lot
you do
going
with the
on
white
there.
tiger?
That's very unholy.
Just on a show.
Oh, I would like that. Rawr.
But I mean, it really.
Put him. Put him.
Playing the part of the tiger, Marty Ryder.
All right, worst joke ever, but I feel like for our 5-year anniversary, we
You
have to
used
do
it
it.
before. Use it again.
It's my favorite. It's my
Okay.
favorite.
Go
What's my
ahead.
second favorite
Go
joke ever?
All right, so it's a joke.
How do this is terrible. How do you turn a fruit into a vegetable? Have a tiger drag him off stage by the throat.
He loves that. He fucking loves that.
Never not funny.
It's
Okay, and now to redeem myself, the funniest joke I've ever heard.
Boy.
What goes clippity clop, bang bang, clippity clop? an Amish drive-by shooting. It's
I
never
gotta
not
go.
funny.
I gotta go.
For real.
It's never not funny.
I would say write the Amish off, but they're not listening
Yeah.
clearly because they have no power.
I haven't found the internet yet, so
But if you're ever
that's
somewhere
funny.
where you have to
That's
tell a
funny.
joke that's
Yeah.
clean and acceptable to everyone,
Except the Amish.
clippity. No, they'll find it
Oh,
funny
they're
too.
funny. Okay,
They have
yeah.
guns.
Maybe.
and horses, so they
And
get
they
it.
want to be gangster, according to Al Yankovic.
Rumspringa. Listen, those kids
Yeah.
are not
Shit.
fucking around.
That's a good point.
I never want to see Al Perkins do this again.
No, I did nothing with my fingers.
Well,
You
we're
made it
just-
much more
we're-
grand.
we're-
I just knew that something should happen with my fingers while I made this gesture and hoped that in post
All
we
of a
would fill
sudden,
it
he's
in.
the notorious ATP over
Yeah.
here. He's good.
I
God.
would just hope that in post you would fill in whatever my fingers should do in a signal that I could be tough in a situation where an Amish
make a
person was
bird?
chasing me with a gun, a
Open the
brooch or a
all the
pterodactyl.
people?
Here's the church and
Right, here's the
people.
steeple, right. Oh, can we move?
Oh yeah,
If we don't move
look
on,
at her accent 5 years later.
if we don't move on, whenever
You always
we
go
get
down to the lowest level. You know what I mean?
Next caller,
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Clay Mickey.
A Nevada teen is approaching peak Twitter fame after accepting a challenge from Wendy's official fast food Twitter account to get 18 million retweets in exchange for a year's supply of chicken nuggets. Yep, it's actually a thing. 2017 hashtag Nugs for Carter. It's NUGGS4FOR
I'm
Carter.
searching it right now.
Here we go. Carter Wilkerson tweeted, "Yo, Wendy's, how many retweets for a year of free chicken nuggets?" And they responded to him saying 18 million, which was a complete surprise to the young man. So it's pretty exciting, Carter Wilkerson says. He's 16 years old. He said in an interview Friday during his lunch break at Bishop Minogue Catholic High School in...
Kylie Minogue.
No, I don't know.
I'm just guessing.
Whatever. It's whatever. He says,
Just
quote,
making shit up.
he says, quote, "I'm one of those people who isn't usually looking for attention, but since this started, it's been pretty cool. In school, it's fun because everyone knows about it." Carter called from a quiet corner of the school, and in the background, one of his friends, while walking by, yelled out, "The man, the myth, the legend," as he walked by.
That's what we yell when Clayton walks by.
The social media movement started Wednesday when Carter tweeted to Wendy's as
I
a
just
joke.
retweeted him.
Carter said he didn't really expect a reply, but when Wendy's replied 18 million, what did he do?
Game on.
Game on, and he responded back to them saying, "Consider it done."
Okay, now talk me through the Twitter.
The Twitter. You
No, I want to do it myself.
All right,
I want to
Don't
do
you-
it.
Don't you finger me.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
So
that became awkward
search
real
this.
fast.
Search
2 fingers.
Search for Carter
Just the one.
JWM, and it will come up with a profile for Carter Wilkerson. And then the very first tweet on his profile is the one to retweet because he's pinned it to the top. And so then just hit the little recycle button.
I'm Carter Wilkinson. Okay.
Yep.
I'm there.
And then it's the first post should be, "Help me please, a man needs his nugs."
And who doesn't need a
Oh,
nug?
so now I just retweet that?
No,
That's
just
it.
retweet
You're
that.
done. You've helped the man.
Now we have helped Carter. We're on your side.
Okay, 2 things, 2 questions.
Okay.
Both
All right.
pertinent and I think fact-based.
I doubt it.
Bring it on, Spicy.
I like your optimism. Spicy.
Fucking doubt it.
Who or whom?
I like that you became a flight attendant
To
just
whom?
now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't start dragging people off
Where?
this fucking show.
Where do we get these nuggets?
They're Wendy's.
And are they only for him, or do all of the we tweeters
No.
enjoy a
No,
nugget?
Only for him.
Now,
He
if
gets-
you'll indulge
This is
me,
bullshit. I should have asked this question before.
If you will indulge me to read the rest of the story, we're going to get to
Oh, see?
your question.
There
Oh.
you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. She interrupted you. Questions. You were done.
Please proceed,
Oh.
sir or ma'am. Yeah.
As of noon Friday, he had 1.1 million tweets. To that point, Wendy's tweeted this: 1 million, we are officially shook. A third of Ellen...
They spelled it wrong, though. It should be SHEWK.
Whatever.
That's how the Twitter shook.
Oh, I-
Now, a third of Ellen DeGeneres' Oscar tweet, that reached 3.2 million, and the most retweeted tweet of all tweets in the Twitter sphere. It says, and it's hard to say that really fast, of course, but now he needs his help from Twitter celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres, George Takei, Chrissy Teigen, and other
Kat
famous
Carlson.
Twitterers,
Something.
people who have more than 20 million followers. Carter's father, Jay Wilkerson, who's 51, didn't even know about that any of this was happening until
Didn't even know his son had a twat.
until the son started receiving requests for interviews. Wilkerson's 14-year-old son helped his father set up a Twitter account so he could see the whole ordeal play out. He says, my wife and I think it's great and that if it has a great cause other than eating chicken nuggets for a year, it would be great to solve a life crisis, but also it's nice to have some sort of a whimsical fun with this. Now, to that point, he talked about donating the year's supply of nuggets. No one has said exactly how many nuggets that would be, to a food pantry in their local area, or to see if Wendy's would consider another form of reward that would be transferred to those really in need. Neither of them are sure what Wendy's plans to do, if anything. Carter said it would be nice to receive a consolation prize, and many of his Twitter followers agree with that.
Like a sauce?
Wendy's privately messaged
Sweet
him.
and sour, if you will.
Wendy's privately messaged him and asked for his address, but did not specify their further plans. The screenshot tweet has received 6,100 replies, which are now appearing in different languages all over the world, including Russian, Turkish, German, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Arabic, and various English dialects in the UK. Twitter translations show the majority of the international comments are supportive of his endeavor. Wendy's did not immediately respond to the Reno Gazette-Journal for tweet requesting more details. They did try the old-fashioned email, but still haven't received anything else. But overall, it just looks like it's a big bout of fun. I hope the kid gets all the retweets he needs.
Yeah.
And what I am going to venture to guess is that as a great PR stunt, not a stunt, but a good PR move, Wendy's is probably going to wind up donating a huge portion of funds or food to a food bank in the Reno area.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're hungry, I mean, this is kind of white privilege rearing its ugly head. Wouldn't we like to be in a place where you could be like, oh no, I'm on a diet, no chicken nuggets. No, these people are fucking hungry. It's food. Send it to them. You know what I mean? It may not be the best food, but they'll be full afterwards, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not a nugget that's going to pass me by. I enjoy that. And Wendy's nuggets are they're not pressed like McDonald's. They're a whole piece of white chicken.
Yeah, but still, it's if you want to send some starving country a butt ton of chicken nuggets, it's food. Yes,
right. Yeah.
Everyone will say thank you. No one's going to be like, oh no, my starving baby can't have chicken nuggets. You know what I mean? Like,
where were you going with that one?
I'm not sure.
Well, I can't eat these nuggets without barbecue.
I was very South Park for a minute. That was like South Park Ethiopia.
Oh, that was a little. You're right.
But I mean, that's always my thought about like, oh no, donate the fucking food.
Right.
People are hungry. It's food. It may not be the best food, but.
So if you're listening, go and try to find him. What is it? Nugs? What's it again? Hashtag
Nugs for Carter.
Nugs for Carter.
Yep.
NUGGSFORCARTER. Nugs
Correct.
for Carter on the old Twitter. Get on it. Marnie, your final story.
Final story. Well, this one was something that it certainly wasn't a surprise, but some of the reaction was a surprise to me, and I was a little upset about it, to say the least.
Okay.
And that had to do with our Mr. Manilow. I am a Fanilo.
No shit.
Guilty.
I am a Fanilo.
With a key change, I'm a fan.
I understand. And so some of the reaction to Barry Manilow coming out, finally at 73 years old,
when you got it,
was kind of irritating. I'm just not going to
Again, the gays were not on their best behavior that day.
No, at all.
We've become awfully pompous.
Fucking entitled.
Yeah. But some of these responses, though, I am on board with, and I'll tell you why as soon as you read your story.
There were a couple of things that I took out of comments.
Okay.
One, the story of a man who had to live a lie his entire life. A monumental waste of time and sad, in my opinion. It takes a serious toll on your mental and physical health to keep something so important a secret. Now it turns out he's been married longer than all three of Trump's marriages combined. I did appreciate that. Congratulations, Barry, for finally coming out. This is the part that got me. But think of all the teen suicides that might have been prevented if they had a role model in the 70s and 80s. Putting that on, almost on him.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Let it go. That's bullshit.
If you couldn't find a reason to live somewhere during the second verse of Weekend in New England, what was going to get you out of that
What was
funk?
going to get you? Looks like we made it.
Somewhere.
What
does that mean?
Just think of all the AIDS cases that might have been prevented if they had a role model.
Now, shut the fuck up.
Thank you. That's where I was.
Halfway through trying to take a chance again, I want to take it raw.
Looks like we made it.
Yeah. Looks like somebody did.
Can't smile without you.
Yeah. You know,
well, you got the New York City rhythm.
Is that what I'm feeling? It's a miracle.
There was
Would
someone.
you like to be a pepper too? My baloney has a first name.
I'm stuck on Band-Aids.
We're getting them all. We're ringing every bell.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
He wrote it.
I know he did. Part of
I'm
the
just waiting.
Part of the VSM. You know that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm just waiting.
Go ahead.
All right.
I'm never going to stop.
I know. I know you're not. I know.
I'm just trying to get the feeling again.
I know. It's okay, Mandy. Shut it. But Barbara, I think, Barbara Seville, I think, put something on Facebook that was very articulate. It was you had
once.
Or articulate, depending on how you say it.
Did I say it wrong?
Articulate.
Oh, I was just mad. But you know,
Or
it
from
was
Alabama.
she took. I don't know about that.
I know nothing about that.
All right.
She had something on there about it was a quote from someone saying, "Way to go, well done coming out of the closet," and then another one from another gay saying, you know, "Took you long enough. Who didn't know? Nobody is shocked," and she just said, "Stop it."
Yeah.
And I loved that. Just stop it.
Just stop it.
Because the idea is we each have, and you've asked the question on Thoughtful Vulgarity, we've each had our own story, our own perhaps struggle.
Our
Some
time.
people that are in the chat room haven't even had the opportunity or aren't in a position to be able to come out.
All right.
Right?
Or they live where a government oppresses
Well,
that
exactly.
and you have no choice.
Exactly. But then you have, I mean, whatever the reason, whatever the story, it's not anybody else's to judge. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And the fact that sadness that someone would live closeted for that long, wearing that many boas and feathers and
That's Elton John.
Barry, think Copa. But
I know.
The Copacabana?
Catalog of hundreds of good
For real.
songs, and that one piece of shit won't go away. Everybody's
I
got
have
that
to
one.
tell you, I just love that.
His name was Rico.
Yeah, they worked from
One
8 to 4.
diamond.
8 to
But
4.
8 to 4.
There was a fantastic internet reaction after a lot of the hullabaloo and people just acting like assholes, and it was the people came out of the woodwork, if you will. He admitted after 40, he has been 40 years he has been with his partner,
Right.
and married for 3 of them. Very exciting.
His
George
face has only
Takei,
been with them for about 20
maybe,
years.
Yeah.
but he knew it before. He knew the difference.
Right.
Congratulations at Barry Manilow on coming out. Welcome to the club. # never too late. There was Dustin Lance Black. My mom raised me well. She raised me to adore you at Barry Manilow. Thrilled to add my own admiration today. Thank you for coming out, blah, blah, blah. Oh. And then someone else, Kurt Eichenwald, says, the non-reaction to Barry Manilow coming out to me is a sign that the USA is a much better place in regards to LGBT than it was even 10 years ago. Because it really was. It's like, let it go. So what? But then some other people offered some other things. Do not let Barry Manilow's sexuality distract you from the very real murder at the Copacabana.
Who shot who?
That's a true story.
You guys,
A cold case if ever there was one.
You guys, Barry Manilow is on the cover of People. Bette Midler is leading a Broadway musical. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
It's true. Barry Manilow is gay, has a partner, and their relationship is going on 39 years. Wow, that's the same as 8 #Christian marriages.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
That's
shit.
true.
Right.
Right.
And I have to say,
Steve Bannon and Barry Manilow are both out. What a time to be alive.
That's beautiful.
It's cute, yeah.
I have to say, Casey of Casey and the Sunshine Band, or the Steve Miller, who I didn't find till, I knew of him, but I never saw a video till I was almost 40.
Okay.
Those people, I wanted to know them biblically. You know what I mean? When Casey was shaking,
Right.
do a little
Shake,
dance,
shake,
make a little love. I wanted to be on the both
receiving
ends
end of the love.
Right.
giver, receiver. So I did want to know what was going on downstairs with them. You know what I mean? Like, there's all those people, like Michael Hutchins from In Excess. He put some people through puberty. That man was so sexy, he would stop your breath. And you did want to know, could you possibly be the recipient of that lovin'? You know what I mean?
Would you like to be in my band?
Oh, my God. Dream on, white girl. That's from Original Sin.
Okay.
There you
It's
go.
an actual In Excess lyric.
Wow.
So, but with Barry Manilow, I just never saw it. Like, I liked the songs. He seemed like a nice Jewish boy.
Well, he wrote them.
Most, except for I write
Except
the
for
songs.
I write the
Except for the song about
Right.
writing
Thank
the
you.
songs. He wrote the songs. Irony. But I have to
Yeah.
say, like, his sexuality was never a part of what was going on there. Like, I never... You know, a little bit maybe you wanted to get a little piece of Steve Perry inside you, but it's probably going to be the nose.
What?
You've been saving that one a while.
Yeah,
haven't
that's
you?
right.
While he's screaming, "Oh, Sherry!" at you.
But there's those people that
Oh,
had
Valerie.
there was a little bit of sex involved with their image, and his was so devoid of any of that. It was all such good, wholesome entertainment and songs that you could sing along with your grandmother and your 3-year-old, and no one was uncomfortable. No one knew what happened.
Though it had high production value, lots of lights.
Yeah.
It was all set well.
When Earth, you know, there's a heaven when Earth ain't so bad, or whatever the fuck it is. Like, there was just nothing sexual. He wasn't selling us anything that we had to interpret. And that's why I don't get that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Elton John. I like the music, but I don't care what that thing does in the dark. It'll still light up because there's rhinestones. But I just don't.
Valid.
I don't get it. Now, Freddie Mercury, yes, there was a sexiness and a dirtiness.
Of course there was.
George Michael, there was something there that you wanted
Adam
to reach out and
Lambert,
touch.
I mean, going to
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Like there's some, but like this is so devoid of sexuality that whatever he identified with, I'd be like, all right, that's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
I'm
a
baffled by
fantastic
this.
showman.
He honestly is like Elton John, like another
Yeah.
one. Like, someone saved my life tonight. I kind of thought that might have something to do with being gay, but I wasn't sure.
Sure. And quite
You almost
frankly-
got your hooks in me,
Almost.
bitch. But I'm
but
kind
who
of
cares? and my thing is that after, if you've had to struggle that long with something, that whether we can look at it and say, so what? You know, like, why wouldn't you have come out? I just can't understand the reason that it's anybody's fucking business. Why? And you know, you can look at it and say, Ellen DeGeneres came out and did this great big thing and good. Yes. Melissa Etheridge. So, right when Melissa Etheridge came, I was like,
and took advantage, and
like nobody knew that.
I had a lot to say about Jodie Foster, because Jodie Foster was at a protest where they wanted her voice raised, where they wanted her on her big Academy Award night to be like, yes, I'm a lesbian. Yes, I am I am part of this tribe. So there was a moment politically for Jodie Foster
If
to
she
be
wanted
involved, if she wanted to. So there was disappointment in her, not because anybody wanted to get with her or take a shower with her or just make her take a shower.
Not necessarily true.
That's for you.
It's just not
Her and Angie Dickinson.
But
Somebody take a shower.
Right, but there was that moment of like the political grounds all meeting up near Jodie Foster where she had a voice, and in my opinion, it could have been raised to lift all, like the tide, the rising tide raises all ships, or whatever that expression is. Like, she had her moment. I just don't think the Barry Manilow, there wasn't a moment for him to be like, I'm gonna rescue what, middle-aged women? Like, who's the audience there?
Right.
And if he kept some middle-aged women happy for a couple more years, or
Well,
if
and
everyone
Their
got a little-
husbands should all be
They'll be
happy.
happy.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
If if everybody got their eyes met, and I love that Weekend in New England song.
Yeah,
I can't say
I'm
enough
telling
about it.
you, forget it.
Gets me every
And-
fucking
and the
time. And I've
funniest
never
thing
taken a
is-
road trip. I have never taken a road trip
And not
that
listened?
we have
Yeah.
not had to have at least one Barry
and my
Manilow song.
favorite thing about seeing him in concert and him singing that song is that when the build up come and women, he just has laughed over the years that women are throwing their panties at him, that doing all this. And
When
he's
will the
like,
strong yearning
right,
end?
Exactly. He sings that,
Oh.
and then he stops singing and he looks out and the women are going nuts and he's like this.
Even I get a
mean,
tingle downstairs
yeah.
when I want to know, when will it end, Barry? When will this yearning end? It's coming from deep.
it's
I like it when he
deep inside
changes
of
the
me.
words into the same line instead of this long. long yearning end. He stops and goes, when will this emptiness end?
Oh,
That just kills me every time.
That's fine too.
To me, to me that same moment is
Would it be magic? Come.
is like
Come.
Well, that's it. You're doing
Come
it.
into my arms.
Donna Summer
Come.
segue.
No, but he sings
He
it.
I
sings
know
it that way,
that,
right.
but it's still at your tween. I know your head.
But what were you gonna say? I'm sorry. That was.
No, the only other thing I was going to say previously, which I saw, was, and it gives you pause to think. I get everybody has their own time to fight. Everybody has their own time to come out. I get all that.
I learned that in Footloose. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You gotta cut loose.
There's only there's a time to dance.
Somebody
And
brought
this
up somebody
is our time to
brought up
dance.
a point that, and in fact, this might be the same point that you're talking about. I don't know. I didn't read it, and if Barbara had commented on it, it's another friend here locally who was, and I'm gonna piggyback this to one of the things that Al has talked about. We've talked about before. For example, Nancy Reagan didn't give a shit about stem cell research until Ronnie got sick. She didn't care about this until this happened. A lot of people don't care about stuff, and they start to fight when it serves them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is serving him at all, other than it's out, whatever, nobody cares. But I was looking at the comment that was made in regards to where were you during the 80s for all of the fight for AIDS awareness? Sure. Where were you during all of the other fights that we've been through this
raising
time?
Raising money for Gay Men's Health Initiative, Gay Men's Health Crisis.
So wait, before, okay. Yeah. But that's what I don't know, and I don't know that's because I haven't researched. I don't know what all money he has been raising money for all these years. I don't know that.
Yeah.
What has he been doing?
Famous concerts for the Gay Men's Health Crisis, as it was known and may still be known in New York City in the early to mid 90s, and he was the one that welcomed Donna Summer after the backlash onto the stage to sing "Could It Be Magic" with him at the Gay Men's Health Crisis, and was like as an ally. And here we are. And there's the one. Oh, I never remember what it's called. It's like arts.
It's the instruments.
No, it's arts for something, and it's there's Music Cares. He did a lot for Music Cares. He's done. I mean, his work in the community across the board for women's health issues, gay health issues is well noted. Like, he was never quiet or turned his back on anybody, and raised a fortune for Gay Men's Health Crisis. And for, is it artists? No, there's Music Cares, and then there's artists something or other.
Is it the same one that did like Red Hot and Dance and those albums?
Music Project.
Yeah, he has
right.
his own.
I knew that because he bought. In fact, in my hometown that had the tornado, he came in and bought the entire high school orchestra all new instruments because the tornado wiped out everything.
And what if that's your cause? What if
that's exactly
you know what I mean? What if arts in schools is more? For me, when voting, I'm more concerned about.
He gives a grand piano everywhere he goes, from my understanding. And then has
but
people...
like for me for voting, I don't vote as much on gay issues as I do about women's reproductive rights, because that to me is more important. Sure. What if arts for children is more important to him than gay issues? What if that's where he, you can't judge somebody because of where they want to spend their money, but he has done a lot for. It's Music Cares, and there's the one it's arts for something, artists for something, and they use the red AIDS ribbon as well. And it's like Arts for Humanity, or
is it Artists for Humanity?
It's something like that might be it.
And it's not to slam that point, because I get exactly where you're going with that. I just look at it, and whatever the cause is, but he was just living a good life with his partner for the last 40 years
and raising money for a cause that came along,
and for raising money
I don't have to identify with this cause. I don't have to have breast cancer to raise money for breast cancer. I have we've talked about this all the time. Empathy. I have empathy. I actually understand that you're going through something that I am not, and I can contribute or help.
And
maybe it's just Music Cares.
Is what had carried him along. Right. I mean, that was the really big thing, and so that's where his love went to.
And honestly, maybe we should save that for a thoughtful vulgarity, but if you're going to give me a choice between giving money to this charity or children in the arts, that saved my life. Like, that's like, seriously, a school without a drama club to me is just a teenage suicide waiting to happen. If you don't have a drama club or somewhere for young people to go and express themselves and find the freaks of the world that can all come together and find out they're not freaks. You know what I mean? That's where I think all of us, chorus, drama club, it's kind of where everybody found their tribe and was like, oh, Jesus, we might live through
in the
this.
parking lot, sure.
That's right.
And if he can get the pot smokers to join the drama club, as I did,
Fantastic.
everybody's happy.
Yep.
Okay, before we run out of all of our time, we have an hour left, and Al's got a hell of an entertainment section. So let's do our last story.
We're gonna blow through it.
No one will be surprised to learn that Vice President Pence is not a loose, casual,
We're not gonna get to your segment.
fun-loving guy. But many people were surprised to read this little tidbit in Ashley Parker's recent Washington Post profile of Pence's wife, Karen. Quote, in 2002, Mike Pence told The Hill that he never eats alone with a woman other than his wife and that he won't attend events featuring alcohol without her by his side. It's easy to make jokes about it. It's also easy to argue that this is nobody's business other than the Pences. But there's a deeply troubling worldview at work here, one that has profound implications for policy, and we're already seeing it play out at both the state and federal levels. Now let's take a moment to consider this pair of rules that Mike Pence has for himself. He obviously thinks that every interaction he has with a woman is so sexually charged that it's unsafe to be around them, only unless there are other people in the room. Unless someone might be drinking, in which case even the presence of a crowd isn't enough to prevent something from happening. There's little distance between that perspective and that of an ultra-Orthodox Jew who refuses to sit next to a woman on an airplane, or a fundamentalist Muslim who demands that women be covered head to toe to contain the unstoppable sexual allure that renders men incapable to control their urges. Now, to that point, here is a list compiled of things other than his wife that Mike Pence cannot be in a room alone with.
Oh, boy.
2 women who are not his wife. 1 woman who is not his wife, and a short guy. Photographs containing women who are not his wife. Men who have the same name as his wife. A dictionary that may randomly be opened to a page containing the words wife, sex, or vagina.
A hell of a dictionary.
He also cannot be in a room with a curvy lampshade.
Oh, there you go.
Alone.
Alone. No, this is alone. Can't be alone.
Right,
with
if
this.
his wife's there.
If his wife's there.
Curvy
all bets
lampshades
are
in the
off.
clear, yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, he'll draw his
They're
attention.
both gonna fuck up.
He cannot be alone in a room with the Temptations' Greatest Hits album.
Greatest tits.
Sofa with more than 2 pillows.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sofa with 1 long pillow.
Yeah. It's very rapey.
Peanut butter, smooth.
Very nice.
Well, the chunky irritates.
Yeah.
He cannot be in a room alone with a shag rug. Also, Will and Grace DVD sets are a problem.
Yeah. Unrelated topic.
Right.
He cannot be alone in a room with legislation that benefits women other than his wife. For some reason, he cannot be alone with paintings of ripe fruit.
Oh.
Jared Leto is another person he cannot be in a room with.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. 'Cause you
I'd
never
fuck
know.
him.
You
Yeah.
know?
These things may sound like someone else, but it's him. Garlic, a crucifix, direct sunlight, or a vampire hunter.
Still applies.
Valid point.
This one's a stretch,
Yeah.
but you get there. He cannot be in a room where there are windows with views of hills that, if you squint just right, look like breasts.
Or that are alive with the sound of music.
He cannot be alone in the same room without his wife with other German Shepherd dogs.
I like
Oh,
a
very
dog
good.
with soft blonde hair.
He cannot be alone in a room without his wife if there is a blank white wall where an image of a woman other than his wife could be projected. Peanut butter, chunky.
Oh, very good. Yep.
An empty tissue box that he could possibly stick his dick in. And finally, the last thing that Mike Pence cannot be alone in a room with, I wish I had a drum roll, but I don't. Poor people.
Very good. You cannot. That's good. That's good.
Oh,
I like it.
why is it that Al
funny.
walks out every
Yeah.
time I have a perfect segue to him?
Yeah.
Because it was a perfect thing to say poor
Yeah.
people and then just go right into that. But I can't do it. We have to stop. We have to go back because
Damn it.
he's not here to take the lead on that.
He gets too crazy.
His only segment.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
in all
only one.
seriousness, though, like this Mike Pence thing could be okay if he wasn't in a position and in a world where important things sometimes happen over a dinner meeting. Or, you know what I mean?
Where you could take him seriously. For
Like,
Christ's
if
sakes.
Mike Pence was just running the local Walmart, go ahead, freak. Like, whatever gets
that's
you
just
through the
right.
day,
Yeah.
whatever keeps you from raping people,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Unfortunately.
Or putting legislation passed that has nothing to do with your body.
Right. But, you know, that's why I'm saying, if he was the manager of the Walmart down here, go on with your bad self.
Yep.
Take your wife everywhere. That's probably a good idea so that you don't rape people.
Yeah. But as the vice president, you can't take a meeting with a woman that's a member of Congress because you're going to rape her?
Correct.
Like, what is
Right.
the lesson
You
from this?
can't have a lunch meeting with Nancy Pelosi.
Right.
Who'd fuck that?
Who's gonna fuck her anyway?
What
No,
you need is
the
some.
who'd fuck that's about him, not her.
You know what? She needs some Laura Branigan. He needs some self-control.
Was the last thing horses? What was the drum roll?
Poor people.
You know, I think with Mike Pence, the other
Yeah, he
thing
does
that
fuck them a lot.
really gets me is his wife and his 2 daughters. That's what gets
So
me
he can't
the
be
most.
alone with his daughter
Well, and not just that,
because
but
he might fuck her.
what about them? Right? Like, how is it that they go?
All men are
everything-
gonna rape them,
Right.
And it's gonna be okay because
And
they
that
entered a
fear-
room alone.
Right.
Or they dressed inappropriately.
She was asking for it.
She
was asking for it.
She had it
went-
coming.
Did you see what she
went
was
in.
wearing?
Yeah, she went into
I
a
see
room
what
with a
you're
man.
saying.
She should expect to be raped.
Totally.
That is what his mind view
Yep.
offers you.
Is
in
teaching
a,
his children.
in a strikingly different set of scenarios, Al has been going into rooms with men for years looking for rape, and it's never happened.
Rape whistles still not used.
Ladies and gentlemen, Al Perkins and infotainment.
All right. So we got some shit, but I can't find the right page.
Oh,
Jake
right.
Giles has died, but not the lead singer. We have a review of something that's coming to town. Thoughts on SNL, a new show on Spike TV. Will and Grace, Grace and Frankie. Movies that have been re-released, movies that are in release,
Book
and
club.
our book club.
And Don Rickles died.
I mean, Dodd Rickles died,
Yeah.
but at a ripe old age and did a
Oh,
lot.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hockey puck.
So we'll start with that. Don Rickles,
Still dead.
kind of a B-level actor, failed at just about everything. Decided to start talking back to hecklers in his audience that were not as enjoying his show, and then had the good
Became
fortune
a
of
thing.
Frank Sinatra being in the audience, who was famous for not having a sense of humor, but actually found being insulted by Don Rickles funny and hired him to do everything in
Everything.
life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, Feud has taken on what an asshole Frank Sinatra was in real life.
Hugely did.
Like kind of a dick.
Yeah.
But Don Rickles found the tickle spot on Frank Sinatra, and Frank Sinatra reciprocated by like helping him out. He was an unofficial member of the Rat Pack. He had successes on failures on TV, but he tried, and some movie roles. And then he ended up doing the roast,
The roast.
the Dean
the
Martin
Dean Martin
roast.
roast for years, and just became known as like
He was
a great comic, and a from all account, like there's not one person saying a bad thing about this man. That he was just a genuinely nice, funny person.
Johnny Carson dubbed him the Mr. Warmth.
Yeah.
Right,
He was
right.
also called the Merchant of Venom. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed him. That rapid fire that sometimes they get. I totally learned that from him.
He seemed like or Joan Rivers seemed like a female kind of offshoot
Right. Yeah.
in a lot
I
of
can
ways.
see that from the similar era.
Yeah, and
Right.
and just the comeback. Oh, fuck you.
Speaking
Just come back at
of you talking about the Sinatra, I watched online. I don't watch the show regularly, but there was a little hullabaloo came up that Jimmy Fallon, who has now the Tonight Show, oddly the day that Rickles died, Jay Leno was a guest on the show, and everybody kind of thought, what a coincidence. Jay Leno, who was from the Tonight Show, old school, who Rickles had been on, inherited it from Carson, all this lineage. They thought for sure there was going to be a big thing about Rickles. They mentioned him once and moved right on and never said another thing about him. But Jimmy Kimmel, who had become great friends with him over many, many years, did a tribute. Like, he was crying on set. Like, he was obviously emotionally very upset about it and everything. But he told the story that I'd never heard before that was funny. But you're talking about how Sinatra had no sense of humor. It was Rickles and his wife Barbara and Bob Newhart and his wife Jenny, I believe is her name, and Sinatra in some booth in a very posh restaurant somewhere in L.A. and it was all white. The whole restaurant was white. Everything was white. And for whatever reason, when the waiter set down the food in front of Sinatra, he was pissed. He'd been pissed all night about something. And he set down, the waiter also set down a bottle of ketchup. And Sinatra grabbed the ketchup and threw it across the restaurant and shattered it on a wall. And it went everywhere. And the whole place went silent. Rickles says, Hey Frankie, pass me the ketchup, and the whole place lost it. But that broke Sinatra, and from then on, Sinatra was fine. From that night, like he got over whatever his issue was because Rickles had broke that ice.
Yeah.
But that's dead silence.
funny.
Frankie, pass me the ketchup, would you?
That's very funny.
Anyway, continue on.
And
sir.
there was, and we were just talking about Lisa Lampanelli and Joan Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Oh.
Joan Rivers kept her warmth and her kindness to people very much a secret.
Okay,
Like, you know, when
sure.
Deborah Norville came out and like spoke about her death, and that like even through all the mocking and everything, that she was very, very kind to Deborah Norville, I'm like, well, that didn't come across. You know what I mean? Like like the Barbara Walters Joan Rivers friendship was always kept under wraps as like, even though the two grand dames of New York, they weren't talking publicly, so you never really knew like who was friendly and who wasn't. Like kept that personal. Where Don Rickles, like you knew who was. He socialized. You sense that underneath.
And you knew who his favorites were: Letterman,
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld.
And I'm thinking because like me, a lot of people just don't find Jay Leno funny. So
I don't either. I don't
so
at all.
he may have just avoided Jay Leno as like
Maybe he did.
on the talent
I don't
train.
care
Just
for
said
Jay.
that one missed the station. So
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not a fan.
yeah, I was never a fan of whatever he was selling, even in his stand-up days. I'm like, I don't get that. And then so Jay Giles, the guitarist, not the lead singer, but Jay Giles has died. He's dead.
And Jennifer,
baby
the
is-
lead singer of Boston,
Boston.
but I thought that it was the drummer, unless the drummer was the lead singer as well.
Could
it
be,
was
but I thought that was
the-
only a Genesis thing.
Yeah, me too.
I was just
But
thinking the same
The
thing.
drummer is, unless more than one has died.
But Jay Giles was named after guitarist Jay Giles.
Okay.
And some great songs. If you're not familiar with the Jay Giles, go back and find out. Love
Freeze
Stinks, Freeze Frame. My Baby is a Centerfold, which got way too much airtime, but
Right.
I love Freeze
Oh, why
Frame.
can't I think of the name of the guy who is their lead singer?
It's Wolf. It's Peter.
Peter Wolf. You're
Peter
correct.
Wolf.
You're correct.
He was romantically associated with Faye Dunaway for many years. I don't
Oh,
know if
wow.
they stayed together, but they were. Oh God. Oh, Love Stinks. Then that's a hot fucking drummer too. That was on my list of like.
What's going on down there?
When I think about you, I touch myself. So we'll go to our book club. Our book was You by Carolyn Kepnes and or Kepnes. I don't know how you say that. Harrison finished it as well. We both finished it. A book about obsession, kind of. So my question to you, fellow reader, would be: would your take on this book, whether good or bad, be different if it was written by a male than have it be a female author?
I don't. You know what? That actually never occurred to me. To think of it that way. I got kind of bored 3/4 of the way through when I realized that he was gonna kill her. I was like, nah, I'm over that.
I'm
Spoiler alert.
not there.
Well, you had a month and a half to read it.
I know we warned y'all.
And I don't care.
Yeah. Also,
It's
I'm
a
not
great
reading
read. It really
Yeah,
is.
no, it was really good, and I was really like sucked into the style of writing. I think she just drug it out too long. I feel like she should have got it done about 4 chapters sooner.
But didn't that like kind of help explain his disease process
that,
a little bit more?
that whole bullshit with Peach and everything, like you could have handled that way earlier.
Okay, so then my
and got it
question,
done. So,
question number
yeah,
two,
question number
fellow
2.
reader, is: was she attracted to people like Peach and shunning the friends that told her the truth?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No,
Like-
she was absolutely attracted to all of the terrible people, and like, I get that.
So do you end up with a kind of a blame the victim vibe out of the book? Or is that because of the way it's written that of course it would be her fault because of the tense it was written in?
I was super indifferent to her, and that might have been because of how it was written.
Yeah, so I found that very
Like,
interesting.
I was super indifferent about the girl. Like I what's it
about
like,
you. I was
Yeah.
Different about
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Once I like figured out the end, I was like, oh well, what else? Like I wasn't upset. No, isn't that terrible?
But
Yeah.
is it because of like only hearing one side of a story? Does that like, and that's what I really got out of it was like, if you only hear only one side of a story, do you start to lack sympathy or empathy?
So
for
my
the,
question to you is, did you sympathize with Joe? Were you like on his side the whole time?
a couple different points.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when he was judgy of the friends. I really kind of thought he was on the right track, and I thought, if a guy was writing this, would I buy into the I want to move to California, buy a case of Red Bull and jam out to Mariah Carey. Like
Right.
his reaction to hipsters, I felt was spot on.
Everyone's reaction to hipsters should be
And
that
I kind of
venomous.
his treatment of Benji I thought was strangely appropriate. But is it because you're only getting if you only hear one side of a relationship from like that one person? Does your sympathy change no matter like you know what I mean? I thought it was very interesting.
Right.
And so now we have the Gone Girl of first person perspective, but there's no at least in Gone Girl you've got girl's perspective.
Right.
First you get gone, then you get girl. So I mean, this was a strange book. I've never read a book where there was only
It really
one
was.
perspective.
But wasn't Ross and Rachel on a break?
Yeah.
We were on a break.
But really worth. I have to recommend this to you. I mean, I would give it like 3.5 out of 5 stars.
No, absolutely.
Very
and I gave
solid
it,
beach read.
I gave it 4 on Goodreads. Like it really just got lengthy for me. Like I was kind of
Yeah.
over. I was over his obsession at a certain point. And I think
Because like anyone who's going on and on about something, do you not
Right.
tune out at some point and be like, all right,
yeah,
gonna need another
and I
friend?
kind of did. I'm like, listen, like we did this with Benji. Now we're gonna do this with Peach, and we're eventually gonna kill the girl. Can we just get this show on the road? We got shit to do.
I found the Peach thing to be a very interesting. What's the matter with Katie? Kind of. Like
okay, sure.
like no,
That's fantastic.
no, because there's a character in the book named Peach who suffers from something very vague and very unnamed, but instantly 15 minutes in, she's doing everything that she just told you she absolutely can't do.
Right.
Because
it's all
she
very
wants
like
to.
attention seeking.
Very, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, yes, I'm allergic to strawberries, but I need this daiquiri right now.
yeah, but I need this daiquiri right now.
No, seriously.
Because earlier today I had dark cherry juice, so I'm allowed to have strawberries later. So it's very... No, I just saw it in your fridge.
Wow. Like, the fuck did you pull that out?
I know, I just saw it in your fridge. So, I mean, but a very interesting book, and especially if you're a fan of reading, it's very rare, I have found, to have these new... and Ernie and I talked, because we're doing a whole greatest hits package. When Gone Girl came out, we were on the air and talking about the strangeness of reading only first person. We're so used to omniscient writing that we very rarely get a story told only from that tunnel vision of
that
one
first person writing instead of the third person, and
to have no one else ever intervene, and that's why the Gone and the Girl, you get Gone and then you get Girl, and so if you're watching the movie, you never really know Neil Patrick Harris's intentions, which they conveyed beautifully in 2 seconds of a movie, but you don't know because it's from Girl's point of view, and we all know Girl's kind of fucked up since she's been gone, so is he a victim or is he the perpetrator of a crime?
Sure.
But you don't, and it's
and that back and forth. Yeah,
and
I really enjoyed that book. I never did see the movie, but I really enjoyed that book.
Very faithful, and you get Neil Patrick Harris has to convey that character's intentions in about 10 seconds.
I remember you talking about that,
and
then he gets it done.
Yeah, it gets it done. So the next book.
Okay, I'm on Amazon now. Bring it on. What are we reading next?
Okay, so
You should
we have
read The Handmaid's Tale.
Should we do The Handmaid's Tale? Let's do The Handmaid's
Okay.
Tale. Interesting read from the 80s, which I thought was written much earlier.
84.
Women's rights issues, reproductive rights issues.
Oh my god! And Prime members read it on Kindle for free.
Absolutely, and it's on the audio or the what is that? The
Audible?
Audiobook.
The Audible.
Okay.
Also free on Audible.
Yeah.
Okay, so The Handmaid's Tale, and we'll give it
Handmaids.
to Handmaid's Tale. We'll give that to
What's the
June,
deadline?
first week of June.
Okay.
June 1st.
Everyone agreed? First week of June?
Brilliant. It's fucking
Carry the
brilliant.
one.
And for anyone who might need to add to their reading, if you're so interested, it will also be a miniseries thing on Hulu. Come April 24th.
Oh my gosh! I gotta
I
get this
believe.
book read first.
Come April 24th, I believe.
So we'll see that. And Aaron was saying about mixed.
Yeah, I did too, Aaron. Yep, I got the additional ending. There's a new kind of piece to it.
And
so
he was
it's
talking about
interesting.
mixed narrative, and I have read mixed narrative books, but the thing with Gone Girl is there's no third. You need the detective's narrative, and that's what makes it such a delight to read, is because you never know what the detective knows.
Right.
She's only seen through him and her, and you like. It's very frustrating to get to. Part 3 should be, what does the detective know?
Right.
That's a 2-month book club. We're going all the way to June 6th. It feels like a long time.
Okay, you want to back it up 2 weeks?
You want to do like May 23rd?
Yes.
Okay.
Very fair. May 23rd. Handmaid's Tale. A Handmaid's Tale.
The Handmaid's.
The Handmaid's Tale.
All
right.
right. It's been
brilliant.
It's been
Brilliant.
zapped to my Kindle already.
Brilliant.
Very
happened.
exciting. So, coming to your area soon, or currently in your area, depending on where you are, is An American in Paris. Couple of things to be warned about. This is not a conventional musical. This is a ballet. With a fantastic tap number. But
And that's the
this
biggest complaint
is-
that I hear.
This is like the movie An American Paris.
I've never seen it.
Gene Kelly and an Academy
the
Award-winning
movie's
Best
cute. Yeah,
Picture.
Yeah, I love the movie.
Beautifully filmed. Vincente Minnelli.
Look at me. I'm like, I'm going. I went to the Nutcracker too, and I didn't understand.
No, the
not-
American
not-
in Paris.
yeah.
Go
A
find
little
the Gene Kelly
more
movie.
story and a little bit more singing than
Okay.
the Nutcracker, and not crazy batshit. But
I love
there
the
is a 17-minute ballet.
It made me crazy.
Just to let you know, there is a
Okay.
17-minute ballet that comes in, set to An American in Paris, and beautiful dancing. And we were lucky enough to see the principal performers because no one could do that show eight days a week.
Okay.
So I think they do 6, and then there's alternates on 2 nights, kind of like Evita and Sunset Boulevard. You just can't do that shit that many times a week. Beautiful dancing, and there's a tap number about 3/4 of the way through the show that, I mean, somebody just goes, just imagine you're at Radio City, and like the whole set changes and the whole tone of the thing changes.
So exciting.
To go from a small thing set at a club in Montmartre to Radio City, and it turns into this big tap number. It is excessive dancing. It is so much dance and such a joy of dancing. Beautifully performed, and the music of Gershwin. So you just can't go wrong. My only complaint would be my personal favorite Gershwin song is "But Not for Me." They're singing songs of love, but not for me. A lucky song above, but not for me. They do that in Counterpoint, and they kind of lose the beauty of the lyrics and the lovely melancholy of "But Not for Me."
Okay.
That'd be my only complaint, was that like when faced with one of the Gershwin greats, they kind of lose
Messed
it in a
with it a little
medley.
bit.
So, but just a simple thing.
Yeah, because we're going to that next weekend, the 22nd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's running next weekend
Okay, yeah, the 22nd.
because we're there the 23rd.
And are you there for a matinee or a night?
I'm a Sunday night. I'm Sunday night
Okay.
season tickets.
So you'll see Sunday. I think the matinees are where the I think they can't do it twice in a night. And
Oh,
about
okay.
3/4 of the way through the show, the main male, you're gonna be like, is he tired yet? Because I'm tired watching him.
Wow,
Like,
okay.
he just keeps dancing.
Yeah, we're seeing it at 2. We're seeing the matinee.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
you'll-
remember my binoculars.
But I mean, you'll see, and the further away, the better with that show because it's so big in scope and it's got so many moving pieces. Just very sumptuous and lovely, but a very unusual thing that it's a dance. It's a dance.
Well, I'm glad you said that because
piece.
I would have been like,
I love it.
what the fuck is going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. 'Cause
And then
I'm new to this whole thing.
out
so.
we
It's
out
okay,
this
we'll
week we
help you.
saw
Thanks.
Beauty and the Beast, which my favorite Disney movie of all
Tale
time.
as old as time.
As old as time, song as old as rhyme. And I had the same question as Angela Lansbury, National Treasure, has. Why?
Innuendo.
Why do we need that? I know, sorry, Jenny, but I haven't drank in a while. It turns out you don't really need it, but it's just such a wonderful story and such beautiful songs that you kind of do need it.
Yeah.
Who cares if somebody else does it? It's like bitching because somebody's doing West Side Story at the high school production. Just go. You're still going to hear songs from West Side Story.
Yeah.
You're just going to get this beautifully shot, sumptuous musical with every instrument ever in the world. Because my God, this movie's loud. If there's a sound mixing Oscar, this one should not get it because they didn't sound mix at all. They just went balls to the walls with that harp. I mean, that harp is in your face. But Audra McDonald, Ewan McGregor, doing the Jerry Orbach part and really does it justice. And once again, Be Our Guest is just such a showstopper of unheard of proportions that you just want to yell out, one more time! From the top! Just do that whole thing again.
Encore.
Like, it's very frustrating to not be able to rewind something that delightful. And those lyrics are just from heaven. But that Be Our Guest number, I was like, can we dance? What are we allowed to do? Can we just see the list of rules for the theater of what I can do for my $17.50, which is what it costs to see Beauty and the Beast in LA.
Jesus Christ.
Sumptuous and lovely, and Emma, whatever her face is,
Watson,
gorgeous. Whoever that fucker is that the Beast turns into, sweet Jesus, did we get a tingle down there in my innuendo?
Who played him?
The guy from Downton Abbey.
Oh, Matthew, right?
Sure. I don't know. I found Downton Abbey completely unwatchable, but
Mary Crawley gets me through because I have a thing for bitchy women.
Gorgeous. When that beast turns into a man, I turned into a beast. I mean, it went ugly. And Gaston is fantastic.
I do.
LeFou is a good time. Yeah. The whole gay thing, like, until the very end where he, like, minuets from woman to man, but he's delightful. And the whole, like, no one spits like Gaston.
Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens. I'm awfully good at expectorating.
Oh, it's Matthew, yeah.
Yeah. There's antlers in all of my decorating. I mean, every minute of those lyrics just makes you...
They're so good.
It's just delightful. But it's still a fucking cartoon because, sorry, spoons don't dance. Yeah. So it goes to cartoon mode. It's like when you're watching the Spider-Man movies. You know what I mean?
There you go, Alfie.
Oh, yeah. And they put long hair on him and put him a pair of breeches and woo, sweet Jesus.
Oh, you should see him with a British accent.
Well, they're literally breeches. I didn't make that up.
No, but...
It just goes with your vocabulary.
It goes with fixins and mudroom and britches.
Yeah, you should watch the first season of Downton Abbey.
Are you cooking possum somewhere?
Yeah,
lovely.
I do have to work harder because the first 2 episodes of Downton Abbey, I was like watching paint dry. I'm like, something's got to happen.
And
on
honestly,
this shit. And I loved me some Maggie Smith.
That's one of those shows where so many things happen, but I couldn't tell you fucking one of them. But I love to watch it.
And I just feel like that Julian Fellows has been making the same movie over and over again for like since Gosford Park. I'm like,
maybe.
We've already seen this. We've already seen Maggie Smith do that.
Yeah, but what's her name that plays Mary
good times.
Crawley?
And just make sure that when you see this eventually, if you don't go see it in the theater and get bombarded by every musical instrument that's ever happened, and you're in a bad place when I'm like, can you turn this shit down?
Yeah.
Like
No
this
kidding.
might be might be too
I want to
much.
go see it just because I want to see how they do it.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing is how they recreate that.
And it's beautifully done. Audra McDonald is the wardrobe. Stanley Tucci is the piano, which I don't remember from the
Animated.
I
don't remember the piano either.
Like Stanley
Chip
Tucci
was
a lot.
delightful, and the what's her butt? Emma Thompson as
not
Mrs.
Thompson.
Potts is just
no.
right. Emma Thompson.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought you were talking about.
And her version of Beauty and the Beast is lovely. She sings it. The yellow dress is gorgeous. Like there's a little bit more through to the story, so it doesn't seem quite so jolting. But again, not for children. Do not bring children to this movie.
No.
People get shot in the chest, in the back. There's terrifying wolves.
How do you keep kids away from Beauty and the Beast?
I don't know, but there's a part.
Be our guest somewhere else.
There's a
But
fight
if you
scene
have
in the
kids,
end.
I think that would be
There's
difficult.
a fight scene in the end that I think is very upsetting.
Okay.
And I don't remember in the animated version if he kills the wolves or if they would just whimper or run away. But in this one, they just whimper and run away.
They Disney-fy it a little bit.
Yeah. So there's that.
wolves are
Donnie
very
Darko is in re-release right now, easily in my top 10 movies of all time.
That's what you said.
The
I
director's
tried to
cut
watch
is
that.
out there, and I swore I would never watch this movie again unless I saw it with someone else. So I dragged Harrison along, who had never seen the director's cut, which makes it a little bit more clear. If you've only ever seen the original version that's minus the 20 minutes, there's a little bit of vagueness that some people like. Some people like it to be a little bit more vague. Is it about, is he psychic? Is he mentally unhinged? Is it about time travel? Where the director's version is pretty straightforward as to what this movie's about and how you get from A to B. You still need to do a lot of...
I tried to watch it a long time ago and I couldn't.
But it's so fun. It's where, again, all of our favorite Beth Grant is in the movie, and she's hysterical. Patrick Swayze is fantastic in it. Drew Barrymore, Noah Wyle, Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal, Mary McDonnell in one of the best performances of her career. There's serious, like laugh out loud parts to it. And if you've recently watched and enjoyed Stranger Things, the person that got to Stranger Things 17 years before Stranger Things did was Donnie Darko. Aping 80s movies. It's a love of all things 80s, the genre, the music, the clothes, and it hits it spot on. It gets it gets the 80s just right. Like there's the kids on the bikes, and it's all throwback because it's from 2001. And the original version, the director was contractually obligated to keep it less than 2 hours. So he made some edits that he wasn't fond of, but liked. He liked the outcome of the movie, but thought, well, maybe longer would be better. But when it's funny, it's really fucking funny. And it has something to say about teenagers and high school and like people following leaders blindly because of like righteous stuff and like Jesus in schools. And it's got a lot to say about, it's kind of a nice follow-up to Heathers, is how I would say. Like once you've absorbed Heathers, then go on to the grown-up weirder version. But it's just great. So the re-release is in theaters, and it was good. It was good to see it with somebody who afterwards you could talk about, because it's a movie that you can't just watch and go home. Like you need to be like, what the fuck did you think about that part? And you really do it. It's a discussion movie. It's one of those great things like a book club where like,
I thought for sure I was going to get murdered in my sleep after I saw that, because I saw it with someone who loved it and I didn't like it at all. And I'm pretty sure like she was plotting my murder as I slept because I hated it and she loved it so much. Yeah. I have bad feelings about the movie in general.
And one of the things about the original version where it was left kind of vague was it mirrored my seizures. Like what I experienced in seizures was very much what they were portraying in the movie. So that was my into the movie, was like the lost time, the story that you couldn't quite understand, the waking up a little confused by like, where did that time go? Where have I been for the amount of time of a seizure? So that was my into that movie, was I thought it was so creative, like the way they like fit in lost time. And because in the original version, mental illness is on the table. Okay. And it's laid out there as like a possibility of what this kid's going through. But just really good. Spend the money. Grace and Frankie, I do not remember watching season 2 last year. For some reason, everything about watching season 2 last year is a complete and total blank. I have rewatched that and cannot figure out what the hell I was on or was doing.
Oh, I remember all of it.
A delight.
Yeah.
Funny. Funny. Rita Moreno is on that show for 36 seconds. And
as the neighbor.
Oh, as the neighbor. And she just brings out the best in Frankie. And I cannot, there's a scene and you have to watch it. Episode 2, they go back to Saul and Robert's house to get stuff. And Rita Moreno barges in and starts telling them how wonderful Robert and Saul are. And she's telling Frankie about her husband. And she's like, do you know the mirth in his eyes? Clearly, I know nothing. And then she's telling Jane Fonda. She has this whole conversation with Jane Fonda about, I've always, because they're surprised that Rita Moreno had dinner with them as a couple and that Robert can make a mojito and their dinner parties. And Jane Fonda's just blank face, like, this, you're describing our husbands and we don't know these two men that you're describing. And so Rita Moreno's like, I always wanted to get to know you, but you were so busy with the kids and on your way to your job and on your way to the car to get the kids to school and on the way back from the car. And they cut to Frankie and she goes, how do you catch a moonbeam in your hands?
I have not yet begun to watch the new season.
The fact that she's doing musical line quotes that Rita Moreno has no idea that she's just getting fed line after line from musicals and just playing it dry. And Rita Moreno was like, I don't know how to catch a moonbeam. But anyways, Grace and Frankie. And now I'm into season 3. And it's just gentle, good humor, delightful, great chemistry between all of them. I've come to like all the kids I like more.
I haven't started watching yet. But then I found out, I thought they were releasing it like a week at a time, and they just released all of it.
They just dump them all on you at a time.
That's the joy of Netflix.
Well, I
why do you think we brew pots of coffee and watch Orange is the New Black one marathon night when I'm like cracked out of my mind and crying and looking to Kenya for solace?
Part 2 of The Get Down is out right now, too. Did you watch the first part?
I have not, but
do it.
I know, but I've been told.
Do it.
Angelica's in the second part.
Oh, okay. So,
musical thing.
Will and Grace is coming back next year for 10 episodes, and without even being aired, they've already upped the episode count to 12.
2 more.
So
I love it.
Clearly,
I'm not enjoying Karen with red hair though. It's the same style, it's just different color. I don't like it.
Oh, but she had red hair a few times on that show.
Better dark to me.
We talked about that. The Mist is coming to Spike TV as a miniseries. A lot of times the Stephen King short stories get made into movies and they're okay, but you wish they were a little bit longer. I'm a little nervous about this, where I think The Stand needs to be like The Walking Dead, like 7 episodes in a movie, 7 seasons in a movie. The Mist, I thought that movie was handled perfectly beautiful, and it's Frank Darabont that gave us The Walking Dead. He's the one that he gave us The Green Mile, he gave us The Mist, he gave us Shawshank Redemption. He's so, and he
we
was
can
the
trust
one,
him. I feel like
he's the one that brought us The Walking Dead on TV, and then they fired him after 2 seasons because he wanted to keep it a serious fucking show. So he handled The Mist, and I thought he did a beautiful job. And now that Spike TV is making it into a mini series, I'm not sure where to go with it, but I'm very intrigued by the trailers. So look online, and you can find The Mist. In case you're a Stephen King fan, as I am, The Mist was his answer to The Langoliers, or have you pronounced that word?
The Langoliers.
The Langoliers, which ended without an ending, and it left you hanging. He left it on a cliffhanger, and everyone hated him.
Yeah.
So he wrote The Mist, which is a very similar story, similar themes, but it had an ending. However bleak and horrible the ending was, it had an ending.
That's a funny thing about people. Like, it can be a terrible ending. You just have to give them an ending.
Yeah. And then SNL this week, which I surprised we didn't touch on. Louis C.K.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't heard it yet.
Alec Baldwin plays Trump, and Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I did see that side by side.
And a little bit of ego stroking. He did interview himself.
Okay.
So that was a little creepy, but his Bill O'Reilly is so spot on. But Louis C.K., they do a spoof of a guy on a couch who saves the world.
Well, the armchair activist, or the
thank you for your comments
I've
on
seen
Facebook.
all the
Everyone
headlines.
say
I just haven't bothered to watch all the movies.
Very, very good. And boy, do they go after Kylie Jenner. Is that her?
Pepsi thing?
Yep.
The Pepsi thing.
Pepsi thing.
And they run a ram right up her ass. Like, she is now officially on the public shaming spit. Now this one I'm going to kind of go with it, because that commercial is so misguided and so off message.
The way Colbert dissected that was so hilarious to me. Like, pointing out everything. Here's all the beautiful extras in the world in a commercial. Here's a white guy. Oh, here's a strategically placed Asian. Like, went through the entire commercial. How horrible it was.
SNL does the same thing, because the director of the commercial starts calling people to tell them the idea of it, and they're like, oh, don't film that. And then, like, he has them pass the phone around, and he's talking to them, trying to explain it to them, and they're all shooting him down. And then he hears Kylie Jenner comes out of her trailer. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Comes out of her trailer and is like, isn't this great? And he's like, oh, shit. Like, the only person that thinks it's a good idea is Kylie Jenner.
Right, the white privileged girl. Well, she's not even white.
Right. How does she identify?
Yeah, she's got a multi-ethnicity.
Aren't they Armenian?
Armenian, yeah. So, if you get it, this week's SNL was, and Louis C.K., it's when you get a good writer, you got not a good writer, he's a great writer. You get a great writer who's willing to, like, really take you to the edge of what SNL can do. Like, you're so on the verge of, like, God damn, this somebody's going to come and shoot me for watching this. Like, it's very uncomfortable, very political, very on point.
Oh, good.
A little bit of, you could see where the right could come after Alec Baldwin for playing both characters and interviewing himself. But the only thing better than his Trump is how good he does Bill O'Reilly.
Really?
It is shocking.
Okay.
I'll have to watch.
I was seriously like, I was amazed. Yeah, that's one of the lines when he's calling around and he's trying to get his friends and family. He goes, can you put a black neighbor on the phone?
No, that never ends well.
So that was my last thing. But SN, and I can't. I thought you would all have watched it. I was all disappointed.
I haven't yet.
I've been under a rock.
Too many other things going.
We're very busy.
Or at the Rock drinking, depending how it worked out. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's your entertainment. So that's it for you?
Yep, that's it.
Got it. Here we go. Two things is what she brings. Two things is what she's talking about. Two things, important little things. That is what she's spouting out.
You just need two things.
That means two things.
Let's get two things clear.
And then two things about yourself.
And I've come to share with you one of two things. No, two of two things. We're sharing two things right now.
There are only two things I can't stand in this world.
Quick, grab two things you love.
It can be two things.
Only two things in the world I'm scared of.
Rise of frazzard two things.
Remember two things.
I believe in two things.
Guys are only after two things.
What's better, doing two things at once or just one?
Never half-ass two things. Whole ass one thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kat Carlson.
All right, so two things.
Really?
Yeah, just two things.
Okay.
First one, a little preachy. Second one, a little fun.
Ooh.
First one, your state legislatures are going to fuck you over repeatedly.
Oh, yeah.
Until you start paying attention to them. Two cases in point. Number one, state of Arizona. Every time I open the goddamn paper, we've got school vouchers now. We've got they're changing the Constitution and our access to ballot initiatives. All this stuff, nobody's watching. Nobody's paying any attention. Your state legislature is going to fuck you over. They're going to take away your education. Or your kids' education. They're going to dismantle public schools. They're going to get rid of every human service you can think of that you rely on the government for right now is going to go away. And I don't know who's going to take it over. Case in point number two, North Carolina is still on the gay marriage thing. They filed a bill. Now, in fairness, a lot of bills get filed in various congressional bodies that never go anywhere, right? Like the internet has spent a lot of time freaking out about bills that don't get any kind of traction. However, North Carolina did decide to file a bill to make gay marriage illegal again, arguing that the Supreme Court overstepped their bounds and had no right to make that the law of the land. And so they're going to go ahead and put that through and put it to a vote.
Yeah, they're threatening to null and void every marriage in state.
Now, keep in mind, when that was on the ballot in North Carolina in 2012, 60% of people who voted against gay marriage. So that's a state that really could take this fight all the way back to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And it does, their bill does argue that the Supreme Court really overstepped their bounds in trying to define the meaning and understanding of marriage in this country. Scary shit. Pay attention to your local shit. I know that national politics is a lot of fun, and I know that it's on your TV around the clock.
No, not nearly as much as local. Not at all.
We have local on a lot more now.
That's good. That's awesome. I mean, I don't watch it.
And I did that subscribe thing that I told you about that I had mentioned to you guys, where you can see how everybody votes and you can get it sent to you.
Awesome. Yes.
You can get it sent to you and what they're voting on and all of it. So it really is a great.
Yeah, because we've got to start in every state in very grassroots ways, like start to get these houses under control, because these are the ones that are really going to screw us over real bad. Right. The other ones are going to take us to war, and that's a whole other problem. But
someone just took on gerrymandering. Was it last week tonight that did it this week?
Maybe I'm behind.
Somebody did it, but one of the interesting parts at the end of this thing that I watched on gerrymandering of districts was that liberals tend to live in very, very small areas. They like big cities.
Yeah.
And they leave these rural districts unmanned. So they're saying if you really want to affect change, you have to get people that are liberal to start living in these smaller towns and affecting change and voting there. But unfortunately, the draw is once you get to Drama Club and find out that you're not the biggest freak in your town, you leave for a bigger city.
You're moving to the city.
You get the fuck out of Dodge and
more
the
freaks.
cornfield. Yeah, to find more freaks. So that it's more condensed. So on the one hand, it is unfair how they're doing some of the gerrymandering, but on the other hand, it's kind of fair if everybody's in one small district, then why make the rest of the state do what this one part of the state wants to do? So it's a very interesting construct, and it affects your state level, because your state level, once you win the House, especially like this year, whoever wins, actually I'm not sure who would be, if it's in either 18 or 2000, then you get to redraw your maps based on the census. Right. So you need to make sure that you win the election that goes along with the census and the redrawing of the maps. So I think it's more important to win in 2020. So it's more important to win the 2020 election and be there for 2021 than it would be to win in 2018 and be there for 2019, because most of these seats are 2-year seats.
Right.
So but they were saying, like, if liberals were smart, they would have an outreach program to get other liberals to move to small towns and affect these districts, because we live in a very segregated society by red and blue.
Sure.
And that the red is more rural. So they have to be represented, even though there's not many of them. You still have a district that maybe, one part of Arizona is looks like half the map, but it's really 6 people. So it might be last week tonight that John Oliver handles that very interesting way, and why your state legislatures are so fucked up.
Meow has up there the last week tonight with John Oliver.
Oh, okay,
So that's. I haven't. That was another one I started. But
and really, it's an interesting topic, and there's no right or wrong, because they're both kind of right,
both kind of wrong,
kind of right. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this crazy town just ends in the Hunger Games anyway. So
right,
but I don't know why I'm stressing out about it, because I'm going to be amazing at the Hunger Games.
But your local, and I'm just going to jump in front of the first bullet the minute the cable goes. So we already know how that ends.
Right. You useless at the Hunger Games.
But your local government is the shadow conspiracy people you've been looking for. That's where they're hiding.
Yeah.
In North Carolina, in these states that are rural on top of rural on top of rural.
In Arizona. Crazy politics have been coming from
I hope when you go to
battle,
battle, you are in your new Volkswagen van.
Well, yeah,
I hope so too.
Because then we can fire from the back, facing the other way.
Oh.
I'm not saying I don't have thoughts on the zombie apocalypse. I'm just saying I'm not going to be there.
You know what just happened in my head? It was like a cross between Mad Max and Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh, well played, yeah.
Put them together, and that's what I want happening out of the back of my Volkswagen van.
There's that.
Oh, and anytime you want me to sit down and watch that new Mad Max, Oz in.
That's
fucking amazing.
I can't believe I've only seen it once.
That and coffee, and I'm jazzed for weeks.
Let's buckle ourselves to lawn chairs in my living room.
Ready to rumble.
All right, thing number 2 is very short and very sweet. I am on a semi-Facebook hiatus in an effort to up my Twitter usage.
That.
Your twat, yeah.
Yeah, and there's an end to this, because I want the little blue check mark. Average people can apply to become verified.
For Twitter or for Facebook?
For Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook. I don't know what Facebook does. I'm on Facebook overload. I need a break. So I've removed it from my phone. I will still be posting and checking on Facebook, just a little bit more intermittently, because I found myself for hours, literal hours, on Facebook, not doing anything productive, just can't stop looking. So I've taken it off of my phone. Okay. I'm still scheduling updates, because I'm still hawking the t-shirts. We're almost done. Although I do have over $700 that we've put together through this t-shirt thing.
Good for you.
And sponsorships.
Good.
Looks like we made it.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
So the t-shirt thing has been very fun. And I will ship. You cover shipping, but if you want to go to catcarlson.me.
Oh, weird.
And, because there's a whole complicated thing with com.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, catcarlson.me. And the form's up there. I'm going to take the form down on Friday night / Saturday morning whenever I get around to it. Okay. If your order's not in, I don't want to hear about it. Too bad. We're done. Limited edition. But I will ship if you cover approximate shipping costs. Even internationally, I'm not quite sure how that works or how much that costs. But if you want to put the money in, you can get money to me via PayPal, Venmo, or the Cash App.
Look at you.
I know Amina has asked. So that's a thing. But my new ridiculous, for no apparent reason other than I can, goal is to become Twitter verified. Some of the criteria that they list when you start to go to the application is producing content on Twitter. So I gotta up my game there. They do want you to have a website. and be kind of a verifiable online person. So
Oh.
we're gonna apply and we're gonna get that little check mark.
I'm curious because
I know, isn't that gonna be fun?
Yeah.
I
like
like
it. I like it. I like it.
And that's 2 things.
that is
Nicely
Both
done.
things.
Both things.
Well done.
both dos thingos.
That's like
I
3
like
weeks in a row. I'm
That was
prepared.
nice. I like it.
All right, we are running short on time, but I think we've got one. We can fit this in, and we're going
We
to
can
do
do it. We
it
can
just
do it.
like
Yeah.
this.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
So after 5 years,
Or 2.5.
However
Yeah.
you identify.
as the learning and the growing comes up, what like in this past chunk of time in the year of our Lord 2017, what have you seen as a change in yourself? Like what's new about you that wasn't there in 2012?
My
Is that
ass.
a Beauty and the Beast
Oh,
reference?
no.
No.
Because there's something there that wasn't
There before. Yes. I can't wait to own that on video.
I like it.
Marnie?
No, that's you.
No, it's you first.
No, he was looking right at you.
Yeah, but you're always first.
I know. I really thought I was getting past this.
I make really good eye contact,
Yeah,
which helps
yeah.
the conversation.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I know that we're short on time, so go to her,
Okay.
please.
Ah,
Thank you.
that's some bullshit, first
Yes.
of all.
I've already got my answer. I already
Thank
know.
you. Yeah, I don't.
Second of all, back to you, Marn.
Yeah.
Back to you, bitches.
Yeah.
Damnable.
No, we're not playing this game because this is a slippery slope and this never ends.
Yeah.
We still have 8 minutes. Go ahead.
Horseshit. Could you ask the question again?
Could you use it in a sentence?
Yeah. What's different about you? What's changed since 2012? Like what's the new?
I'm not drinking.
Oh.
I mean, right now.
Oh.
But I mean,
Like
in
at all
general.
ever?
In general, I mean, I'm really not drinking anymore.
Oh.
So, no. I mean, I have a couple of things in there.
Well, now I
but-
have 2 answers to give.
Yeah. No, but I mean, just not really. I mean, I might have a glass of wine here or there or whatever, but like, I couldn't speak 5 years ago. I could, I
Yeah.
took full advantage of
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda, and the fact that we could drink on here and say whatever. Now I cuss more to make up for the fact that I'm not drinking, and we can get away with that. But other than that, I would say that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all.
I'd like to agree with that, but
good
there's
answer.
most of a
Well,
bottle of
thanks.
wine missing.
That's all right.
It's not judgy. It's just, I mean, I think just at one point I was like, yeah, okay, now I'm just gonna, whatever.
Oh, and on Grace and Frankie, Grace drinks and drives constantly.
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 Time.
Like there are so many scenes where like, how did she get from A to B? She drove after 17 martinis. Yeah, it actually got to the point where it's like, wait, why is she sitting outside of the DMV that drunk?
We should tweet it though.
Yeah, we should.
We should.
Put that on your list.
I'm gonna put it on my list. Okay, so I think this is just. Does it have to be podcast related or just how are
No,
you
just
different since
in
5 years?
time.
Yeah, okay.
In time. Now, are we going to go with her for the last 5 years or the last 2.5?
Let's just say pick 2012 as your starting point.
Okay, past 5 years.
I think I have just kind of in life, and this being one of the experiences that has kind of helped that change. I think I have become a little less judgmental and a lot less chip on my shoulder. I think 5 years ago, Kat Carlson was kind of spoiling for a fight at all times, just ready to be mad at everybody. And I feel like I've kind of let that go and become a lot more willing to just believe what you say, and like whatever bullshit people want to feed me, as long as it's not hurting anybody and doesn't affect my life. It doesn't affect your vodka tonic. All right, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Right. I like it.
Yeah. So I feel I'm a kinder, gentler.
I didn't know you as well
The
this
kinder,
show,
gentler is silent.
but I will agree with you only from the standpoint of I remember when you worked at that bar that we won't mention the name of, and I used
the Cash in Country.
and I used to interact with you.
Yeah.
I remembered always going in with a little bit of a guard from the standpoint of I always felt that whatever I suggested or however we were going to attack a problem, you were ready just to no, we're not. Like we're this you may want to do this, but this is how we're going to do it. Like I just felt like you were not confrontational, but I felt like there was a certain gentle
confrontation coming.
A gentler hand was how to deal with you to keep that spring-loaded snake from coming out of the
angry.
Yeah, from coming out of the box or something. I just but I agree. I think that getting out of that environment
and coming out of that environment helped that a lot.
Good improvement on you.
Yeah, and even this show, like just conversation and different points of view, like
helps.
Yeah, when you meet different people that think differently, that affects you. And
it definitely does.
I basically have 3 points to do with this. One is similar to what Marnie said. I've reached the age, and they're going to kind of piggyback. I've reached the age, and it just literally last year was a huge just change. I really don't drink. I mean, you've seen weeks and weeks have gone by. I drink coffee. I don't drink like I used to. And I do not care to be out in it anymore. Yeah. I have reached that saturation point where let the kids have it, do it. I'll drop in here and there, but I'm far from being a partier and going out as much. Which is another reason I gave up doing the Wednesday night, DJing the show. I'm done with it. So that's a big one. I don't care about that as much. Again, I'm drinking. I had a beverage tonight, 5th year anniversary. Whatever, we're done. But I mean, I won't drink the rest of the week. There's a very good chance that won't happen at all. To that point, I've also lost weight because of that. Yeah. So that's another nice thing. But the bigger thing that
So we proved that doctor that started bitching about us wrong.
That's right.
If you let us drink full tilt, we'll drink a little less eventually.
Yeah. 5 years, bitch.
I mean,
5 years later.
That's stupid.
She just wasn't seeing big pictures.
So,
that's right.
But the other side of this, and I know you two will really see that. Well, you will too, because you've been listening since the beginning. Mm-hmm. The biggest change for me is I couldn't have given majority 2 shits about politics 5 years ago when we started, because that was my anti. I didn't want anything to do with politics. It was funny. It was a morning show at night. It was all about light and fun and having a good time. But motherfuck, there we were going right into an election season, and there's no way I could avoid it.
Yeah, the train was coming right at you.
2012, there was no way I could get out of that.
So in a way, you've let go and let God.
I don't believe in God. But anyway, I think that's been the biggest.
We're on a train again. I didn't know.
Big turnaround for me is the fact that I didn't care so much for that. Now I'm maybe not so much involved as I am just at least paying attention and aware of what's going on with that.
And soon you'll post things on Facebook that are political without tagging all of us.
I don't mind tagging.
I don't either. But it's always funny because I'm like, you could do that without a crutch. It could just be you that has that point of view.
I only do it to make sure you enjoy it.
Absolutely.
I don't have to have the crutch. No.
No, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's so much fun that you're involved in it more, because your takes on it, because of not being involved for so long or really paying attention for so long.
Fresh set of eyes.
It is, but I think it's just kind of cool to see that those things from your point of view of how you piece it together and whatnot. I just think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's very fun.
Got it. Okay, we got 2 minutes. Go ahead, Alfie.
So, just as I'd rather not take on as much money, but have a little more free time to be able to work on things that I really want to work on. That comes up with me a lot. That work-life balance is something over the last 5 years that I'm like, because this really was just a day that I didn't work. Like, this was just a shelter from the storm to be like, okay, I can work 6 days a week, but I can't work Tuesdays. And it's come down to like, I can work 3 days a week, and I can't work Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Monday. Because, I mean, I really do, I do like money, and I love to spend the money and spread the manure around, but I have learned that I need to, I have to take care of myself and do the right thing. And the big change with me is all the different things that I've kind of learned about that if you would ask me 5 years ago, I know everything. I really do not need your,
Well, you're still a lot like that.
Yeah.
But at least I feel in my perspective, in my feelings, that I'm now willing to like listen to the story and be like, oh yeah, you know what? I never thought of it from that point of view. Like all of a sudden I'm like, and it's part work, it's part experience with other people that I'm like, okay, there's probably 17 different other point of views and I should probably hear about 12 of them.
Sure.
And I'm much less willing to just jump in and like make a judgment and just start fighting instead of like, all right, I guess we can listen to all you motherfuckers and figure out what we're talking about.
Marn, did you contribute to this?
I did. My drinking.
Oh, just that.
In the last 5 years, Jenny has taken on a lot of her honey's health issues, which she's doing really well now. Fantastic.
Very good, Jenny. That's hard. That's a lot to take.
That is.
When you're
And we all know personally in the room, like people that are taking on other people's health issues and helping them get through a difficult time, and that's not easy.
Nope.
No.
Absolutely.
Make sure to take a minute to take care of yourself.
Yes, because if you don't take care of you, you won't be there to take care of them.
Yeah, that is absolutely the truth.
Holy cow! 5 years,
you,
boys and
Joe,
girls. Congratulations,
Thank
we've
you,
done
Aaron.
it. And thank you,
everyone, for a lot of fun.
And all the ships at sea.
Terry.
Well, as we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.
We give you your day back. What you do with it is up to you.